Hey everybody. Alright, I'm hoping you guys can hear me. I have a weird setup going on here. I'm on the iPad. Okay, the volume says it's all the way up. It's crooked because the iPad is like hanging on a bungee cord. So let me know if you can hear this. I'll wait for a few more people to jump on. It has been wet and rainy all day. Let me turn my light around. I have my little baby light. I might need to get fresh batteries in this light. I'm not sure. You guys let me know what you think as far as the light goes. I'm gonna move the mic. I'm gonna hang it right here. All right, so I'm on the iPad. I'm not on my cell phone, so let me know two things. Can you hear me is the main thing. And hey everybody. Hey Pammy Pam and Maggie. This is a really random chat. So I was very bored. I've been sitting in bed, either on the bed or on the chair or back in the bed all day because it's been 100% raining since last night. Cloudy. I started the car up. First I ate something, then I started the car up because my solar is not getting any sun. And so I'm just like, okay, while I got the car started up, I'm bored to death. I've watched so much crap on Netflix. I listened to a couple of podcasts. I'm like, I cannot do it anymore. So someone is saying more light would be better. All right, I have a light over here I can plug in. Let me plug it in and see if that helps. Give me a second. All right, hopefully this light will help. If not, I will put fresh batteries in the other light because those batteries are not fresh batteries. Oh, it's not plugging in. All right, hold on. This light is not cooperating. Give me a second. Give me a second. And I keep talking because if anybody jumps on, they won't see me. They can at least hear me. I don't understand why this is not going in. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Cooperate. Wow, that is so weird. All right, give me a second. I might have to choose the other one. Oy. Technology never wants to cooperate when I want to do a freaking video. Never ever cooperates with me when I'm ready to do a video. Never ever ever never. And I've got a light sitting right here. Why it won't plug into the USB port, I do not know. Talk amongst yourselves while I figure the light situation out. For crying out loud. Don't do this to me on camera. Sorry, guys. This is the light that I'm trying to turn on that will not cooperate. Let me try the other one. I have two lights sitting right here next to each other. So let's try the other one. The other one. Maybe the other one will be more cooperative. Lord knows this one ain't trying to work with a sister. All right, is that better? Better, 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 better. Okay, that's probably better. It looks better on my screen, and I'm on the iPad, so I have got to remember to look over here for the camera because the camera's right over there. I'm so used to looking at myself on the screen, it looks like I'm not talking to you guys. So I'm gonna try it because I gotta look at the comments and then I gotta look at the screen. Comment, screen, comment, screen. And the reason why I chose to do the iPad is, one, I wanted to test it out and see how good it does alive. And two, I'm always trying to look up things for you guys to share with you online. And because I use my phone all the time, everything is saved on my phone. So it's so much easier for me to go to my phone to look up something I'm trying to share with you instead of on my iPad, which I rarely use for any kind of internet except for porn. Anyway, happy Valentine's Day to all of those who are saying it to me. I don't really celebrate any holidays really at all, but I appreciate you guys saying that. Appreciate it. And I don't have chapstick within arm's reach, so I'm gonna use a little bit of coconut oil because I feel like my lips are a little dry. I did oil up my face and everything and wash my face and brush my teeth before I came on the live. When you're not doing anything all day, it's like, oh my gosh, crazy. Ugh. All right, let's go back and look at some of the, hey, Kathy. All right, the sound is good. Light is good. Okay, thank you. You like my frog? This frog has sentimental value to me. This is a frog that I had back in Sticks and Bricks. My son used to be like the go-to for the claw machines. You know those claw machines that you put the quarter in and it has that claw and you have to move it around to grab something? He used to always be able to win something out of those machines. And so he won this for me out of one of those claw machines. So this is one of the few frogs from my Sticks and Bricks of life that I have. I think I have 3 little small figurine frogs, which I haven't figured out how to put them up. Nor am I sure if I want to put them up, because they were presents from my second husband. For 3 different Valentine's days, for 3 years in a row, he bought me the little frogs, and they're a set, but they can also be on their own, displayed on their own. So each year for 3 different Valentine's days, he gave me one of those frogs. So I don't know if I want to display those or not, since that's, you know what I'm saying? And I also have another frog that's a block of like a crystal kind of, maybe it's glass. I think it's a piece of glass. It's a square piece of solid glass, and I had a friend who used to etch inside of glass, and so he etched me a frog inside of this glass. But it needs to sit on a counter or a tabletop or something, and since I don't have really any counter space in here, so I have those in a box under the bed, little keepsakes like that, and a couple of little things like from my mother, which I don't really want to display them, but you know, it's just something. It's just kind of something from my old life kind of thing. Anyway, let's see. Let me see. Since it's not Freaky Friday, I will use a filter. Thank you, Patrick. Yes, this is not Freaky Friday. I'm going to try and remember that myself. It's not even Friday, it's Thursday. So, if you follow my Patreon, you already know what my weekend plans are and what my plans are for the next few days. So I will be doing some traveling. I'm not going to really share that because that's part of being on the Patreon. You get to know those things. You might find out those things later, but I'm not going to share them right now because I just told my Patreon family, I think yesterday, what I was doing. So if you want to find out, $1 a month, go join Patreon. Anyway, so we got travel plans for tomorrow and for the next week. We're going to be out of Arizona, and we won't be back in Arizona probably till like the beginning of March. So I'm excited to do a little bit of traveling. I'm excited. We kind of been stationary in Arizona, even though we've been traveling within Arizona, like Quartzsite, Lake Havasu, Ehrenberg, kind of hitting the triangle of those 3 spots. So I'm kind of excited to get out of Arizona, go see some other friends, hang out, do some fun stuff. So I'm really excited for that. My main reason, or what, I don't really have a main reason, but someone shared something on my Facebook today, and I wasn't on YouTube at all, so I'm just seeing it. And so I shared it as well. And I want to send out my condolences. And let me just grab the pic so you can see it. I want to send out my condolences to Chrome of Van City Van Life on the passing of his dog Disco. And for the Van City Van Life family, because I know that he was a part of you guys' life too. So I'm sorry for your loss, guys. That's really, really difficult. I know, losing a pet. One of the other, or the many reasons I should say, why I just don't have a pet. So condolences to Chrome. I know that's very difficult, and I know that his van family is feeling that, and they're all suffering from that loss. So just wanted to send out my condolences to Chrome and his Van City Van Life family. That's hard, man, especially it happened very suddenly, so that's difficult. So yeah, just another reason to not have a pet. Like, you get so emotionally involved in their life becomes your life, and it's like having a kid. And so yeah, it's just hey, Trish from Jamaica. Yeah, so condolences to Chrome and the Van City Van Life YouTube family on the loss of Disco. There are no words. There really aren't words for when you lose someone that you love. Mahadi, hello, my brother. Anyway, I don't want to bring the whole live chat down. But anyway, this is a completely random chat. I don't have anything written down. I don't have any notes on my phone. I don't have no sync prepared. No sync at all. So if you want to talk to me, if you want to just chat about random stuff, you want to ask some questions. Speaking of asking questions, we're supposed to have a Q&A on Sunday. If you go to crystalvanner.com, if you really need to use that resource, guys, if you want to know what's going on with me, as far as the channel goes, definitely use that crystalvanner.com resource and get on that calendar. Just click calendar on the top there. The live Q&A for this Sunday has been postponed until next week because I'm going to do a live tour of the van. And since I'm going to be out of town this weekend, I thought I don't want to stop my fun to do a live video. I want to hang out with the people that I'm going to be hanging out with and have some fun with them and not have to say, okay, guys, I got to do this video. So I postponed the live Q&A. That's this Sunday until next week. So it'll be a live van tour and live Q&A. So you can ask me questions about the van as I'm showing things. I personally like doing the live tours because there are sometimes things that I forget to point out if I do a recorded tour and then you guys ask questions about it. So I feel like if I do it live, you have a chance to ask those questions while I'm on the live, and then I can turn the camera on to that thing you're talking about and be able to focus on what it is you're asking me right then and there and get the questions out. So I saw one question in caps. Thanks so much for putting your question in caps with an emoji. I appreciate it. Superfly wants to know, why did you stop being a teacher's aide? Because I wanted to travel. Plain and simple. I felt like if I did not hit the road when I hit the road, I would never hit the road. So I felt like I would be stuck in Northern Virginia forever, living in my van. And I can't live in my van in the winters in Northern Virginia. And probably most of the fall, I wouldn't be able to live in my van. It's just too cold. Fall and winters would have been too cold. So I really would have only been like part-time. And so I would have always had to go either rent a room for fall and winter and then live in it spring and summer. So I said no. I'm bouncing. Sorry, I'm bouncing because this is on a my iPad is on a bungee cord. So every time I touch the screen to scroll, it bounces. Sorry about that if I give you guys seasickness, because you probably will get it. Anyway, yeah, I wanted to travel. Traveling to me was really important, and I never knew that I wanted to travel until I got into van life. I always thought, oh, traveling would be nice. That's kind of a cool thing to do. I never really traveled until 1990 when I graduated from high school. My graduation gift from my one of my aunts and my mom was to go up to Block Island, which is off of Rhode Island. So you go up to Rhode Island and then you catch a ferry over to Block Island, because my aunt was living there at the time. And that was the first time I had left the area. So yeah, so I didn't really travel, but I really said, if I continue to live this van life in Northern Virginia, only doing it for spring and summer, I'm going to end up back in an apartment. And I know myself well enough that I knew that that would happen. Even if I didn't get an apartment, I would have rented a room somewhere, because I was already looking at rooms that first winter. Like, where am I going to go for the winter? You know, this is too cold. So that's why I decided to stop being a teacher's aide and travel, because I honestly thought I would only be able to do it for a year, and that I would be so broke and really legit homeless, and that I would have to come back after a year. But I've been able to scrape by, and there are very, very, very lean times where, you know, the food supply is down, no gas money, so I just hunker down where I am and stay there. Now that I have the other job that I can do while traveling, I definitely can push myself to do as little or as much as I want on that job, which I'm trying to get back into. You know, the magic of it is gone. But anyway, we'll talk about that on Freaky Friday next month. But I don't know. I just feel like I'm getting myself back into that job because that's something I can get paid every week, and it's up to me how much money I make on that job, and I can do it while traveling. I can do it. I can drive down the road and do that job, and I have done that. So it's definitely something I'm trying to slowly get myself back into. I got to get that fun factor back into it in order to make the money. So I hope that answers your question. All right, I'm scrolling back. Let's see. Everybody saying hi. Thank you, Superfly, for admiring that. Been watching all the old videos? Awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you. Hey, Judy. Hi, Miss V. All right, I'm going to turn my cooktop off. I had that on for a heat source, but I turned my heat on now that my car is running because I have to charge my battery. Michael, the other job, you have to tune into a Freaky Friday for that because it's not a job I can discuss and get monetized. So next month's Freaky Friday, let's see, that is March, correct? Also, don't forget that starting next month, we are doing our Mental Health Mondays. So next month's Freaky Friday, see, I have to take my glasses off to read. Next month's Freaky Friday is March 8th at 8 p.m. Eastern. All of my live chats that are scheduled are East Coast time, so definitely make sure you keep that in mind, that it's East Coast time, so you'll have to figure out what that means for you. So March 8th, we'll be talking about my job that I do on the road. I'll get more into details. I'll write out some notes for that, to just some information on that. So, but this month, the Q&A is the 24th instead of the 17th. Just remember, this Sunday, there's no Q&A. It's next Sunday, so that last Sunday of the month. Also, we have book club next Saturday, the 23rd. And the book that we're reading for book club, or listening to for book club, I got to go to the website. The February book club is number 7, Chivalry by Neil Gaiman, and that is a LeVar Burton podcast, and all you have to do is go to the podcast online for free. It's all on the website. Go to the website. We have 79 watching and 42 likes. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, guys, when you walk in, when you come in. If you turn your phone this way, you should be able to hit the thumbs up button. Turn your phone this way, and you should be able to hit the thumbs up button. Sorry about that. There was another question I saw. Hey, Patricia Thomas, just watched my interview from January 3rd of 2018. Are you talking about the Bob Wells interview? Yes, Bob Wells did interview me last January. And the reason he did that was I was having a difficult time from November of, 2018. You must mean 2017, because I didn't have an interview in 20. Oh, you're talking about the interview that I did with, I forgot the gentleman's name. Yes, okay, sorry. Bob Wells interviewed me January of January 2018, that's right. Because I was having issues from November 2017 and all the way through January of 2018, and so he was kind enough to reach out to me, interview me, and get me on his channel before RTR, because some of the things I was having some issues with people online. I'm not going to relive that, but it's there. If you go in my videos to November of 2017, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, he definitely, hey, 1960s girl, you finally caught a live. Woohoo. But thanks for watching the interview, and definitely thank you for watching the old videos. I really appreciate that. Somebody else wants to know what the job is. You'll have to do that next month. Sorry. Yeah, Freaky Fridays are the second Friday of each month. So if you miss this month, you got to wait till next month. Superfly has another question. I have another question. Do you travel with a group of people or traveling solo? When I say with a group of people, I'm talking about different vehicles. So right now it's just Miss V is my only traveling companion. She is in her own vehicle. So I do travel with Miss V, and I have been traveling with her since we left the East Coast together. Miss V's 1-year anniversary is the end of this month. Woohoo! February 28th. So yeah, she has definitely been my traveling companion. So up until traveling with her, I pretty much traveled by myself until I met up with Mama Willow last year on my way, not last year, because that was 2018. 2017, I met up with Mama Willow halfway through my journey, and we came the rest of the way to Arizona. But yeah, so for the most part, I've traveled by myself. My 2 years of living in the van in the beginning and traveling, not traveling, but working, I was by myself, solo in Northern Virginia. So most of my van journey has been by myself. This August will be 4 years living in the van. Man, I cannot believe it's been 4 years. It really flew by really, really fast because I feel like it's only been a year or two. But yeah, so I've been on and off solo and on and off with another person. But when you say with a group, I've done short trips with groups like 5 or more people. We travel from one place to another. We stay a week or two, and then we end up everybody kind of goes their own way, and maybe we meet up again somewhere else. So in that aspect, I have traveled with groups. Big vans, like big ProMasters, Pleasure Ways, all the way down to an E150, and even when I was in my minivan. So yeah, it's different vehicles. Yes, all different vehicles. Mama Willow's doing great. She's actually on her way to Arizona, if not here in the next couple of days. She got an RV, so she spent a while, several months working a job so that she could buy an RV, and she has her RV now, and the last I heard, she was heading this way to Arizona, so I might be able to see her before I head back east in May. That was the only question, I think. All right, somebody else is saying they just caught me live. Nice. Trusting your process as I will be a travel companion soon. Yay! And Kathy, yes. So Pam from Trusting Your Process and Kathy from Kathy's RV Life. I need you two to get together. I need you to get each other's email, and then I need you to exchange phone numbers because you're both in Georgia. You're both working full-time jobs, and I feel like you could benefit from the friendship, the collaboration, the support system of each other, and you're so close to each other. Even if it's 3 or 4 hours away, you can find a halfway point and meet like on the weekends or something. I think the two of you would get along epically well because I know you both. You're both fun women. You're both, older women, not old, but, my age in, 40s. So I feel like you were definitely in the same kind of season of life kind of thing where you're doing this full time and working full time. And so sometimes that is hard to navigate because you feel like, how do I navigate this? How do I live in my vehicle full time in an area where it's cold and it's winter and work this full-time job, and I really want to be out there? So I really am so happy that you guys are connecting because you guys are going to love each other. You're definitely going to love each other. So I'm happy that you guys are connecting. I'm glad that I remembered that you were both in Georgia. But yeah, so I think you guys will have fun hanging out together. I really do. It takes us all. You have to find someone to hang out with. You really do. When you are new, and especially when you're stationary and not traveling, you really need to find somebody. Because I firmly believe that this would have been an easier process for me in the beginning if somebody else in my area, I had found somebody else who was interested in this, like had enough knowledge about it, even if they weren't doing, but had enough knowledge about it that we could talk about it, because everyone I talked about it to had no knowledge of it. And so I kind of felt by myself as far as wanting to talk about it and as far as being excited about it. there was no one to be excited with me. So, because all the people I knew were kind of like, you crazy. So I feel like when you're not traveling and you're stationary, you really need a support system, someone you can talk to that understands the lingo, that understands your thought process of maybe setting up your van. But even, like I said, even if that person's not living the van life, but they are watching the videos and they understand about van life and you're already in your van, having someone to talk to is nice. It really is. Because it is kind of lonely. Honestly, until I found, who did I find? Carlos, to be honest with you. Carlos, who came up, my van, the first year I had it and needed to do my inspection when it expired, my minivan, 2 tires would not pass inspection, and I think a light on my, you know, the light where your tag is on the back, you have that light, my light bulb was blown, so it wouldn't pass inspection. So as far as the light bulb goes, that's probably something I could have done myself, but when I did a video on my car not passing inspection, and now I've got this rejection sticker, which I didn't feel comfortable having, living in my van and having a rejection sticker, you know, because you never know how police are gonna, you know, maybe look out for that vehicle more or want to write a ticket and I'm in the van at night, you know. Carlos, who was a subscriber, one of my, you know, first group of subscribers, he was in the southern part of Virginia. He reached out to me through email, okay, and he said, hey, I saw your video on the tires. I want to come bring you some used tires. We have some really good used tires in our area, and I know they'll pass inspection. Let me bring you a couple of tires. And I'm like, what? I'm thinking, who is this random dude? So, but anyway, I gave him the address of the place where I got the car inspected, and he met me up there. So he came from 3.5 hours away in Southern Virginia up to Northern Virginia to drop off used tires that passed inspection, and he changed the light bulb in my and then went on back down. So I'm like, so we exchanged phone numbers, and he became the person I kind of talked to a little bit because he wanted to do this as well. He had an RV, he already had a van, he had a pop-up, so it was like he became my person kind of that I would talk to. And then I started talking to other subscribers, you know, via, you know, the channel and stuff. But he was the person I had a phone number to that I could call, you know, and I would talk about like my bed, and he would say, well, if you give me the dimensions, I could cut the wood for you and I could help you put it together. And once you do your solar and once you do your batteries. So he did my batteries for me. And I was able to watch him do the battery setup when I got this Cardinal, so that I could redo it myself. And then when I got the solar, and then when I changed the small batteries for the big battery, you know, so he has been a good friend as far as that. And I'm glad that I had someone who understood what van life was about, even though he wasn't living in a van. He was pretty much there. He had his van, he had an RV. So, and we traveled together while I was working my job. When I went on spring break from school, he and me and another gentleman, we traveled together. He and I went to not Myrtle Beach. Was it Myrtle Beach? Maybe it was Myrtle Beach. Is Myrtle Beach in South Carolina? Anyway, so he and I went to a beach together. You know, no kind of, you know, relationship or anything. Just a good friend that I could reach out to and call and talk to. And even while I travel, he is a night owl, so I know I can call him if I'm traveling and I need, you know, if I'm trying to push myself to do a couple extra hours and I'm falling asleep, I can call him and talk to him on the phone about any random stuff. So he just has a good heart, and it's good to have a support system no matter what that looks like for you. I say all that to say you need a support system no matter what stage of van life you're in, planning stages, buying the van stages, whatever. You kind of want a support system. If you're not getting that with the people that are already in your life, you kind of need to reach out and find other people that can be that support system for you. I've had people email me and send me pictures of what they're doing in their van, and I love that. Feel free to you know, show me your pictures of what you're doing in your van. Ask questions. It's totally fine. But I love that, you know, you're reaching out and you're saying, look, this is how I set up my van. Is there anything different you would do? Or look, I just did my own solar and I'm excited. Or there's so many emails that I get on a regular basis of people just sharing what they're doing or the process they're in or asking questions. So it's definitely, it's you need a support system. Just plain and simple. You need a support system in the beginning. You really do. All right. Now I missed a couple of questions. I'm scrolling back. Someone asked if Carlos has a channel. He does not. I'm hoping that by this time next year, Carlos is full-time in van life, and I'm gonna reciprocate what he's done for me to help me learn solar and the power by helping him build a website and maybe helping him do a channel. Doesn't want to be on camera. If you saw my solar video, you didn't really see his face at all. He doesn't want to be on camera, but I think I could help him because that's a business for him. That's how he's going to support himself because he's not old enough to retire. You know, he's I think he's around my age, I believe. Maybe he might be a little bit younger, but yeah, I feel like that's how he's going to support himself. So I want to help him with, you know, building just a simple website where people can contact him if they're in the area. He can, maybe put a calendar up of where he's traveling to, and maybe have a secondary phone where people can call and set up appointments to do solar installs and stuff like that, because he's got to support himself, and that's his expertise. He doesn't just do solar and batteries, but he does audio and visual. So he does, if you have a rig and you want to have your stereo system done, he can do that as well. So he does it all. All right, going back to the questions. I know there was a couple of side conversations. If I missed your question, please do it again. Do it in all caps. Hey, Pam Ford. Okay, let me see. Somebody's telling me that yes, Myrtle Beach is in South Carolina. Thank you very much. When will I be back in South Carolina? I don't know if I'm coming back to South Carolina this year or not. Arnita wants to know, please tell us, how do you downsize and let go of stuff? We're going on the road on Monday and our van is getting full. Yes, I saw your comment about that, Arnita. I didn't have an issue with downsizing because I'm not emotionally attached to anything except photos. So that was really the only thing for me that I kept all of, was because I don't have many of those because I lost so many years ago. Whole nother story. But for me, my biggest thing was, you don't need so much in a van. Okay, with clothing, this is my closet, right? So behind here is my closet, and I have just enough clothes. Probably I could go maybe 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks of clothes. You're gonna wash clothes, so you don't need every item of clothing that you possibly can think of. My biggest thing was making sure I had a place to stash out of season clothes as well. So I had a small pocket of those, what do you call them? The packing cubes. So I have like 3 of those packing cubes under my bed with the summer clothes in them, and then the winter stuff gets switched out. So I don't have any big bulky sweaters. I have a big thick hoodie. I have a winter coat, and I have a kind of a medium weight hoodie. So my thing is, you can layer clothes. You can put on a t-shirt, you can put on a long sleeve t-shirt, you can put on a tank top, then you can put on a short sleeve t-shirt, then you can put on a long sleeve t-shirt, and then you can put on a hoodie. And then under your pants, you can have sweatpants. I have 2 pair of sweatpants, and under your sweatpants, you put on a pair of leggings. And I have 2 pair of wool leggings that were gifted to me, and I have 1 pair of fleece leggings that I've had for a while. So those can go under sweatpants or under jeans. Layering up. So if you layer up, you don't need all the clothes that you normally would have in a sticks and bricks. You really, really don't. That's, I think, the biggest thing for women is clothing and shoes. You really think you want to have months and months worth of clothing. You can't fit all that in the van. You're taking valuable, precious space away from items that you really, really need. Because remember, this is your home now, so everything has to go in here. You want to make sure you have water and food, because clothes, for real, you can find a laundromat anywhere. Even if you're parked in the national forest or the middle of the desert and you don't want to go into town, you can hand wash underwear out. You can hand wash t-shirts out and hang those bad boys to dry. If you need to air out your jeans outside for a couple of days, you've worn them 3-4 times and you don't want to go into town, air them out outside for overnight and put them on in the morning. You know, it's really not that big of a deal to repeat wearing clothes. It's really not. Nobody cares about seeing you in the same shirt or the same jeans. Nobody is paying that much attention to what you have on. They really aren't. And you're not going to even pay attention to it because you're out there and you're like having fun. You're not caring about what you have on. I have 1 black dress, which is a maxi dress with a thick tank top sleeve. What do you call it? Not sleeve, but strap. And that dress is completely to the ankles, and I can wear that if I'm invited to a wedding. I can wear that in the summer because it's a tank top type, but it's thick. And if it's wintertime, I can just layer another shirt under it or I have this nice wool type shawl that I could wear, and that's my wedding dress, that's my funeral dress, that's whatever. It's like not even necessary to have all these clothes or all these shoes. I have 4 pair of shoes. I have a pair of tennis shoes, which I need to get a new pair of tennis shoes eventually. But I have a pair of tennis shoes. I have some Crocs that I just got recently. I have a pair of flip-flops, and I have a pair of ballet flats, black ballet flats. So all of my shoes are black, except for the tennis shoes. The tennis shoes are a brown tannish color, because out here in the desert, when I wear them out here in the desert, the black shoes were getting so dusty that they were looking brown anyway. So the last time I bought tennis shoes, I think a year or so ago, I bought brown ones that time. And I always buy men's tennis shoes, because to me, men's tennis shoes have more structure to them, more support to them, and they're just plain. I do not like frilly tennis shoes. Why am I saying tennis shoes? Oh my gosh. Tennis shoes. I do not like pink. I do not like purple. I just want a plain pair of tennis shoes. And it was very difficult to find that in the women's section. I tend to go to Marshalls or TJ Maxx for tennis shoes, because you can get like the New Balance, you can get Nike, you can get Reebok, you can get the name brands, and maybe spend 20 to 30 bucks, because that's the max. I am not spending more than $30 for those shoes, and that even hurts me. My goal is to spend like $10 to $15 if I can. I'm just not that kind of chick. I've never been into clothes. I've never been into shoes, so it's just not that big of a deal to me. I have several scarves. I have leggings. These are a pair of leggings that I wrap my hair up with. I've got scarves. I did have scarves in my wish list, and one of my subscribers who's become a friend to me, she bought a lot of the scarves, so I have more scarves to wrap my hair with, which I'm looking forward to doing that, especially when I start my lock journey and my hair doesn't look nice in the in-between stage. I'm going to wrap it more like I did last year. But yeah, clothes are not that big of a deal. It's the lifestyle, and it's the adventure, and it's the travel, and that's what's important, not how many clothes do I have an outfit for every occasion. Because honestly, how many weddings are you going to go to? How many funerals are you going to legit go to? Because if you're out there traveling and someone passes away at home and you are 1,000 miles away and can't get there, you're not going to attend the funeral or the wedding. You're just not. There's only a handful of people that you're going to legit go to their wedding or their funeral. So I don't think you need to have several outfits. You don't need to have the things that you wear to work and the things you wear for fun. Just plain old clothes. Just don't overthink that. Kitchen stuff is another thing I think people get too much of. You're not cooking like you do at home, so you legit don't need all these pots and pans and measuring spoons and stirring spoons. And you need one nice pot, one nice pan, maybe a tea kettle, because you are going to boil water. So you want a tea kettle. I have one little frying pan. It's probably a little 8-inch frying pan. Maybe not even be 8. It might even be 6. And I have stainless steel. I prefer stainless steel because it's lightweight. So one stainless steel frying pan. And I have one collapsible pot that's just enough if I want to heat up some soup. It's a good size. It's probably about that tall. I could go get it, but I don't feel like digging through that drawer. And I have a collapsible tea kettle. Okay, I guess I'll go get them. I will get the pots and the pans. Okay, hold on. Give me 2 seconds. All right. Okay. All right. I always say I'm not going to get something and I end up getting it anyway. All right. This is the tea kettle. And this is in my Amazon influencer store. So amazon.com/shop/CrystalVanner. It's in the description box below in all the videos. This is there. And it's a collapsible tea kettle. And I think it's made by Freshware is what it says. So the handle even collapses down. Okay. All right. So you turn it and you tighten up the bolt, all right? And then you pop it up. So it's what do you call it? This silicone. So I just put water in there, all right? It's got my little top. The only thing I wish it did was whistle. It doesn't whistle, so I have to pay attention when I put this on. I got to pay attention to when the water boils because I end up losing some of my water because it's all steamed out. But yeah, I use this to boil water so that I can either have tea, hot chocolate, or wash up. This is the, you know, what every morning I fill it about right to here when I wash up, and I pour it in my sink. A little cold water from the sink tap and a little hot water, and I wash up in the sink. And whatever's left over, I usually have a cup of tea with that. So that's my collapsible tea kettle. It just goes down flat. I unscrew this screw a little bit. Be careful with those. Don't unscrew them too much, because I ended up losing one behind the bed one day and it took me forever to get back there and find it. So you just unscrew it enough for that handle to fold down, and there it is. That's all the room it takes up in my drawer. That's it. This is my collapsible pot. So if I want to cook in a pot, like say I want to make pasta, or I want to make soup, if I have a can of soup, or even if I want to make soup from scratch. So this one, same thing, pops up, and that's enough for me, honestly. That's more than enough. More than enough. Because even if I get a can of soup, one can of soup is not even going to, you know, go to this halfway rim. It's not. And this, the only thing I did not like about this is it has a glass top. I try not to have glass in my van, but so far so good. It's been okay. I haven't broken it yet, but I was really wishing that this was metal or silicone, but it's not. It is glass. At least it feels like glass to me. I don't think it's plastic. So anyway, that's the collapsible pot. All right, and so again, it just folds down. The only thing I don't have that's collapsible, which is okay, and I'm gonna show you how I use this today. So this is legit. This I found at a thrift shop for like $4. This is my saucepan, my stainless steel saucepan. And look, I made pancakes. If you follow me on Instagram and well, not Facebook, because I don't have the Facebook page anymore. If you follow me on Instagram, I made pancakes last night for dinner. So I ate some more of those for dinner lunch, and I had a Beyond Meat sausages as well, which is vegan sausage, really delicious. So I did not feel like cleaning my pan for just warming up food that I had already cooked, because I didn't need to cook it. I just wanted to warm it up. The pancakes were already made. The sausage was already cooked from the other day. I had it in the fridge. So I took foil and put it in the pan, and I sat the, you know, like 3 pancakes and 1 sausage link, and I put it on low, and I put the top on it. And so it became almost like a little oven where it just warmed it up. And when it was warm enough to eat, that's what I did. Because legit, my pan is still clean now. I did not want to do no dishes for just warming up something. It's one thing to do dishes if you actually have to cook, but the food was already cooked, and I didn't want to have to wash a dish this evening for warming up pancakes and a sausage. So legit, I just took some foil, heavy duty foil. I tore a big piece off and I folded it into thirds. And then I just legit put it in the pan, pressed it down in there till it fit the shape, put 3 pancakes in there and 1 sausage, put the top on, put it on very low so it became like an oven, and heated it up on the inside. This is what you call supreme laziness. So I did that twice, because I ended up eating 6 little pancakes, because my pancakes weren't big. They were about that size. So I ate 6 little pancakes and both sausages that I had already cooked a couple of days ago. So that was my dinner tonight. So I was cool with that. Now all I gotta do is take this little piece of foil. Done. This is done. Done. And I ate it on a paper plate, so I'm done. Dishes is clean. So anyway, I found this pan at a thrift shop. Okay, and I don't remember the price, and it's not one of those ones where they write it on the bottom, but it had to be less than $5. So it's one of those thrift shops where they had all the pans in one area and all the pots on the next shelf. So I had to take the this pan and try all the pots on until I found a top to fit it. So this top, it did not come with this pan, so it is a little bit loose, but this was the best fit that I found at the thrift shop. So altogether, I paid less than $5 for the pan and the top. So I knew I wanted some kind of a frying pan or something. So there you go. Yes, thank you, Maggie. I do have an Alpacool refrigerator. It's an Alpacool 30. They have 15, 20, 30, 40, and 50. Mine is a 30. So that is also on my influencer store. Okay. So, oh good Lord. Amazon.com/store/CrystalVanner. Description box is the link is in the description box under my store, not my wish list, my store. It's an influencer store, and it'll say that on their store, Amazon store. So let me go back, answer some questions. So yes, you don't need a bunch of kitchen stuff. I have one big spoon that I use for a what do you call it? A serving spoon or whatever, or a cooking spoon, and it's also stainless steel. So I have one big spoon that I use for that. I have, if I go out to eat, like at a Chipotle, I always raid their plasticware. So I always steal their forks, spoons, and knives because I love the Chipotle black plasticware. If you have never eaten at Chipotle, go once and eat, and then steal all the forks, spoons, and knives. Just throw them in your bag. When you go over there, pretend like you're getting the sauces, because they have like the hot sauces and stuff, and just throw like several forks, several spoons, and several knives in there. I love the Chipotle ones because they are really sturdy, and they're black, not white, so they don't show like the tomato sauce. If you're gonna make spaghetti or something, they don't show the red tomato sauce because the white ones get stained real bad. And I don't know, they just feel much more sturdy than the plastic ones you can buy at like the dollar store to me. So I just raid them. When I go, I get like 5 to 7 of each of them, and I just wash them and reuse them. And if they start to come apart or break, I just toss them. It's no big deal. Oh, Pam Ford says she does the same. I love Chipotle plasticware. I'm sorry, nobody else has plasticware like Chipotle. So when you go to Chipotle, just steal you some napkins and steal you some plasticware. So I'm just saying, I love theirs. Theirs is thick, and theirs are the best. What else? Oh, when it comes to condiments, even though I recently, because I have the fridge now, I bought a small mayonnaise. But when it comes to condiments, go to Whole Foods. Condiments are the best. So go get you like a sandwich or something from Whole Foods, and then go over to the little condiments area and steal you your mustard, ketchup, and mayo. The packets are beautiful. And you get a lot in them. I'm just saying. There you go. That's what I'm saying. Bear, that's what I'm saying. Don't say Crystal sent me. Don't say Crystal said to do this. Don't put my name in it. I'm just giving you tips and tricks. Don't put my name in it, okay? The Whole Foods packets, especially the fact that they have mayo. It's hard to find mayo packets anywhere. But they have the best ketchup, mustard, and mayonnaise package, and I feel like you get a little bit more in those packets than you do at the fast food restaurants. I'm just saying. Just saying. I feel as though I'm getting more. So when I go get my TTLA sandwich, I always stock up on the condiment packets at Whole Foods. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Little things like that. What else can I say about downsizing? You have to really separate yourself from your items. Don't be emotionally invested. And I know that's hard for a lot of people. It wasn't hard for me. It's never been hard for me. I moved a lot as a single mom. We stayed in one apartment for almost 7 years, and then we moved a bunch after that, like almost annually, because I was chasing cheap rent. So because of that, moving, and then ended up being me and my son moving ourselves, I got rid of everything. I always moved in like the spring, and I would have a big yard sale, and I would sell everything except for the bare minimal, and then I would move. And there's so many easy ways to get stuff back. Churches have free stuff, thrift shops have free stuff, or cheap stuff. Craigslist has a free section. You can always add stuff back to your, so I never had an issue. I always make sure I kept my son's bed and dresser. I kept my bed and my dresser. I got rid of all living room furniture we had. I got rid of half the kitchen stuff that we had. I got rid of son's clothes, as far as things that he wasn't wearing anymore, any clothes and shoes that I wasn't wearing anymore. I would just sell all of that. Then I would take that money, I would get me a U-Haul truck, and then I would take however many loads on a U-Haul truck it took. I would just move myself. Sometimes I remember one move took me 5 loads in a U-Haul to move everything, and that's even with downsizing some stuff. And I did not move close to where my old place was, so it was a long weekend of moving back and forth, loading it up. Driving to the new place, unload it. Go back to the old place, load it up. Drive to the new place, unload it. Like it was a long weekend. And I'm one of those people, and I know I don't I'm not officially diagnosed with OCD, but I know that I have some OCD tendencies. Every time that I move, I would set up the whole house. Like, I could not go to bed that night once I was finally moved in. I could not go to bed without the house being set up. So for the most part, within 48 hours, my house was completely unpacked and completely done. I can't do it. All right, bye those that have to leave. Bye Pam. But I always set up my son's bedroom first, because that gave him something to do while I unpacked the rest of the house and set up the rest of the house. So I would always do his bedroom, all his clothes and his bed, so that he could go to bed that night. And all his toys and all in his bed. Made up his bed, set up his bed, put all his toys out, and that way that gave him a place to be. And then I would do the kitchen next, so that I can make sure that I could feed him. Someone wants to know what kind of locks am I getting. It's no kind of name for the locks I'm getting. I'm just doing my own thing. They're not freeform, but they're not sister locks. I'm just locking my hair. They won't be super skinny and they won't be super thick. They'll be somewhere in between. There's no real name for it, I guess. So yeah, I always unpack the house within 48 hours. You would never know I had just moved in because the whole house was unpacked. I just couldn't live in boxes. I just can't. And I'm also that way in my van. I can't live with items that don't serve a purpose. And I also can't live with items stored under my bed that I need to access on a regular basis. So it always baffles me when people put things they need to get to on a regular basis under their bed because they want it tucked away and they want their van more open. I'm all about openness in your van if you can do it, but I don't want to be digging out from under my bed or lifting up my bed or pulling out from under my bed every time I need something on a daily basis. To me, that just makes no sense whatsoever. Yes, keep your van as open as you can, but legit make sure it's functional first. Anyway, what else can I say about downsizing? Separate yourself from items because they're just items. Think about what kind of life you want to live in your vehicle, okay? How do I want my vehicle home to function? Do I need all these dishes? No. Somebody wants to know, do I prefer, I'm trying to read questions as they come up. Patrick, hey Patricia, sorry. Would I prefer cash or Amazon wishlist? Cash! Because I'm going to be traveling, so it'll help with gas money. So if you want to hit me up, my CashApp and my PayPal are below. That's cool. Because that helps me when it comes to traveling. That's less money I spend on gas and more money I can spend on doing fun stuff. So that's cool. Appreciate it. Whichever's good for you, I will take either, to be honest. Patrick said, how can you be bored? I gave you over 1,000 hours of horror movies and ebooks. Patrick, the problem with that, like I told you, is I don't pull out my laptop very often. I have got to figure out how I can get those items onto my tablet, because my tablet is where I watch everything. So for me to pull my laptop out means I have to plug it in, which means it's sucking power off of my inverter, which is sucking power off of my battery. And if I'm not getting enough solar, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know it's a lot of hours that you gave me, but I'm going to figure out how to get this, even if it means putting all of those items into my Google Drive. I don't know if they will all go in there. I don't think I have that much memory. But maybe if I put some of those items into my Google Drive and then I can open it up and watch it on my tablet. Maybe that's what I have to do. Because I need to figure out how to have the external hard drive you gave me plug into my iPad so that I can play it on my tablet. Because my tablet is way less power than the laptop. So it stays plugged in pretty much all the time, as well as my cell phone. Those are the two things that are pretty much plugged in all the time. So I got to figure that whole situation out. Bye to all of those that have to leave. I know it's getting late on the East Coast. What time is it here? It is 7:18 here. So it's 9:18 on the East Coast. So yeah, I understand those on the East Coast that got to go to bed. It's Thursday. You got to go to work. I understand. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, downsizing. Still talking about downsizing. Anyway, Arnita, I don't know if this helps you or not, but Patrick says there's an adapter for that and it is pricey. Maybe somebody will buy it for me if I put it on my wish list, Patrick. I don't know. We'll see. If it's less than $40, it might be worth the investment, I think. Because I feel like that would make more sense to watch those items. I know I'll watch them. Like I did watch a couple of Tom Hanks movies that you gave me, but it's like, you know, putting the laptop up, I got to pull out the table. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a whole situation that has to happen to pull out the laptop, because I don't really put the laptop on my actual lap. I want to put it on the table. I want to recline in the bed and watch it. And it's just big, you know, it's a 17-inch, so it's like big. The tablet is only 9.7 inches, and I can hang it up like I have it right now. It's out of the way. There's no other contraptions needed with it. I got to figure something out, Patrick. Trust and believe, I am very appreciative of it, but I just got to figure out how we can transition it over to the tablet. I'll figure it out. Anyway, Arnita, if you want to have a more, I know you're about to move into your van this weekend, but definitely hit me up in an email. We can talk a little more, but I hope that helps a little bit. Anyway, let me go back and scroll, because I know I missed a lot of questions, probably. Thank you to my wonderful admins for finding and weeding out the weeding out the trolls. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, I don't see any more questions. Those all look like statements and some side conversations. I answered the one about my locks. Thanks for answering about locks. I'm the same way. Okay, anybody else have a question? If I missed it, now's your time to put it up there and let me catch it. What am I using for heat? So for right now, I was using my cooktop a little earlier because once I'm in the bed, I have enough layers on my bed that I'm not cold unless I have to get up to use the bathroom. So I have enough covers and blankets and pajamas and sweats and wool socks to keep me completely warm in the bed. So I'm only cold when I get up in the middle of the night to pee. So I always try and pee right before bed, but I'm drinking water while I'm laying here watching Netflix. I'm also always sipping on water. So yeah, I always drink a lot of water. So I do have to use the bathroom once or twice in the middle of the night, which is unfortunate because it'd be so cold in the middle of the night. But there's nothing I can do about that. Luckily, my toilet's right here next to me, so I just jump over there and use it, and I'm done. Looks like somebody came in asking questions, and they got deleted or something. I don't know what that was about. Thank you, admins. How's my grandbaby doing? My grandbaby is doing okay as far as I know. I haven't heard from my son. He got a new job, so there's been a little less communication going on. So I will definitely be hitting him up again to, you know, see how they're doing and see how his job is going. So, you know, when you get a new job, you're kind of like in the zone of making a good impression and getting all that paperwork done when you first get the job. And he just started it, so literally a few days ago. So yeah, I will hopefully see how they're doing. Patrick is saying, I sent you a video on the adapter via email. Oh, okay, I didn't see that. Okay, I'll look at it. All right, those that have to leave, I appreciate you jumping on this random live. Thank you so much. Debbie says, grandbaby, I thought you were in your early 20s. I love it when people are deceived. Black don't crack. I am 47. I will be 48 May 13th. I will be 48. And I'm realizing that I have 3 tattoos that I said I was going to get before turning 50. And the time is like winding down. So I need to start getting on these tattoos. If any Vanner Fanner family members are tattoo artists and want to give a tattoo at a discounted or free, and I will video the whole process and do a review on the tattoo and all that. Hopefully it's a good tattoo. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna blast you if it ain't. I have 3 tattoos I need to get done before I turn 50. So hit me up on the email, hellocrystalvanner@gmail.com. So I've had my car running this whole time trying to get my battery juiced up because it has been raining since last night, no sun whatsoever. And I noticed that my batteries were just, yeah, they were at 11.7, so definitely no sun. Marcus wants to know, how is Not Your Mama's van? How is she? Is she still functioning? Yes, my son still has the van. My son still has Not Your Mama's van. I'm sure he's renamed her. Or maybe it was your mama's van. I don't know. Yes, my son still has the van, and as far as I know, it is still functioning. Okay. Let's see. I'm scrolling back. Yes, I did have a fire in my van. So if you follow me on social media, or if you use the community tab here on YouTube. What is that sound? I don't know what that sound is. Now it stopped. There it is again. Something's hitting my van or something. I guess it's wind. Anyway, if you follow me on social media, which is Instagram, I don't really use Facebook except for people that I've met actually in person. I have 100 or less friends on Facebook. I plan on keeping it that way. Instagram is the best place to find me, or the community tab here in YouTube. You know, I had a fire on last Wednesday, so a week ago. Not yesterday, last Wednesday, and my Wave 3 heater and the hose just boom, a flame of fire came out when I turned it on. It was really cold. We had a cold front come through, and I hadn't used it in 2 weeks, and so it was my first time starting it up in 2 weeks. I used it all RTR every single night, no issues. So when I turned it on, this flame shot out of the front, and my hose that's attached to the side caught on fire and caught my rug on fire underneath. Luckily, I have a fire extinguisher right within arm's reach, and I grabbed it, and I put the fire out, literally 2 or 3 squirts of the fire extinguisher, but the dust, the powder that's in the extinguisher, it got everywhere. And I shared some pictures on my social media of what the van looked like, and all of my stuff sitting outside. I had to empty out. So that night I slept in the van because it happened at night as I was going to bed around 9 o'clock, 9:30. So there was nothing I could really do about it that late at night in the dark, in the cold. So I put the fire out. I disconnected everything. I sat the 20-gallon tank outside. I put the hose outside. I put the heater outside with the cover on it, and I just sat it all outside on the side of the van that night, and tried not to move around too much to kick that dust up, because I didn't want to like inhale that dust. So I went ahead and went to bed. Didn't really sleep because I was afraid that I was not going to wake up, because I kept dozing off and imagining inhaling the dust and waking up not being able to breathe and dying in my sleep. So that's why I did not sleep last Wednesday night. So I basically laid here all night watching Netflix, trying to keep warm. So, and every time I had to get up and go to the bathroom, I tried to move as little as possible to disturb all that dust that had settled down to the floor. So the next morning I got up and I emptied out the whole van with the help of the ladies that were camped with me, and we put 2 tarps out. I put the whole van out, the bed, everything under the bed, all of the linens on the bed, all of the drawers from my plastic shelves, all of those drawers came out, and the ladies sat out on the tarp, and they took things and wiped everything down, cleaned everything off with the cleaner, took things out of the drawer that had fire extinguisher dust on them and cleaned those off and put them back in the drawers. It was a lot of work for them. I mean, I had the easy part, just emptying out the van, but they were wiping everything down. So I went over to the truck stop and vacuumed out. And because there was a truck stop where we were parked, there's a car wash, like a truck car wash, and it's not a vacuum that you can use yourself. And I didn't find the vacuum at the Flying J where we were parked until after I'd already gotten it back. So $15 later, I paid the guy at the truck wash to vacuum out the van, all the powder, because it was everywhere on the floor. It even got all the way up into between the 2 seats in the front. a big plume of the white powder smoke was everywhere. So he vacuumed it out really, really well. He sprinkled some stuff down and then vacuumed it again. And he took my actual rug that was gifted to me. I remember you guys, if you remember that rug, the black, gray, and red swirly rug, that's what got burned. So he took that and he sprinkled some stuff on that and vacuumed that out for me. So what I did is I switched the rug around. So the burn part is back here with me. And so if you come looking in my van, you wouldn't see it because it's back here in the back. You don't see it as it's a small burn about that big. So yeah, so that got done. And then when I came back to the campsite, I was able to put everything back in. And I mean, I had to wipe off even like this there was like dust on top of this, very, you know, faint dust back here in the back, but mostly the front and the middle of the van, and my bedding all got. So I did have to go wash my bedding. I got to the laundromat later than I wanted to, and only had less than an hour to get my bedding done. So I washed my bedding and then I went back the next day to wash everything else. Luckily, because I have this curtain where my clothes are, none of my clothes got any dust on them. And the curtain got very minuscule amount of dust on it at the bottom. So I took it out and just shook it off and wiped the bottom off with a rag. Because it's a shower curtain, so it's meant to get wet anyway. And then I hung it back up. But it was a mess. That powder, I'm glad it worked. You know, the fire extinguisher worked. It was a brand new one. I just bought it when we got back here in October. I just bought it at Harbor Freight because I didn't have one in here. So, but the mess afterwards was worse than the fire. It was like, oh my gosh, I have to empty out the whole van. So I did spring cleaning early. Just saying. I did spring clean early. So now it's kind of cool that I was able to get the whole van emptied out and cleaned out, because now I can do the tour video and feel confident that everything's clean. And now I'm kind of keeping the cleaning up. So I'm wiping down like every day now, like I was doing back when I had MRSA. Back when I was on my prescription for having MRSA, I was wiping down a lot more back then, and I kind of got lazy and stopped doing it. But now I'm wiping down surfaces again. I'm keeping things real clean, because once you have it clean like that, you kind of want to keep it clean. So, and I'm sweeping like with my little dustpan and broom thing, sweeping up the carpet, you know, little scraps of, you know, food or dust and stuff. I'm trying to keep the carpet clean. It's hard to keep the carpet clean out here though. Oh my gosh. I really need a 12-volt vacuum that works, that I can plug into my cigarette lighter, that has a long enough cord that can go in the front cigarette lighter, and I can vacuum back here, because whew, I really need to vacuum like once a week. Anyway, so life is good. Everything got cleaned out and the van is back. It's nice, it's neat, it's organized. I put it back exactly as it was. But private joke to Los and Jimmy, I did change the bed. I changed the bed a little bit. I had an extension piece on my bed to make it a little bit longer for this mattress that I have, and I took that extension piece off, and it's back to the shorter size that it was. And I have about let's see, 67, 68, 69, 70, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have about 6 inches that doesn't have anything under it. Maybe not 6. Let me see. Hold on. I don't think it's 6. It's about 5. It's about 5 inches at the head that doesn't have any wood under it, which is fine, because I slide all the way down in my bed to get down in the covers, so it doesn't affect my sleeping. And the bed is like 75 inches long, so it's more than enough room for me, because I'm only, 64 inches, 5'4", so 75 inches long is more than enough bed for me. And it's 30 inches wide, and my bed previous was always 25 inches wide, so I'm considering even cutting 5 inches off the width to give myself more aisle space here in the aisle area. So anyway, we'll see. But I mean, it's nice having 30 inches, but I really don't need this width. I'm not used to it. It just makes me, so now I have stuff piled on the side here. Like I don't have anywhere to have a nightstand per se. I would love to have a ledge right here on the side, because I have nowhere for my glasses and my cell phone and little things like that to go. So I have a little small, this basket basically. I have this basket sitting on the bed next to my leg that has my candy in it. If I want candy in the middle of the night, my water bottle sits in it, my glasses sit in it, and my cell phone sits in it. So that's kind of my nightstand. But I would love to have a ledge right here that I could put that stuff, like all the way across. I want a ledge right there, because like I've got this case hanging here, which has my my tablet fits in there, and some other things. Just, you know, random little stuff that ends up on the bed, like my pajamas. They end up over here on the side, tucked on the side, covered up by my pillows. So I would like to have a secondary ledge here. Either that or a shallow cabinet right here, because I do have some room. If I, you know, take this down, I have room. I have about 18 inches of room that I could put a little cabinet right there, or a shelf or something. We'll see. Anyway, that's a private joke. But yeah, so the fire happened. It was a small fire. It was scary as heck. And I was shaking for like 24 hours, but you do what you got to do, and yeah, you keep it moving. So the van is clean, wiped down, good to go. Let's see. Someone says, you're a firefighter. Glad you're okay. Glad the van's okay. Bye to everyone who had to leave. Shirley said that dust is baking soda. Really? You think it is? I did not know. I didn't read that fire extinguisher. Also, another thing to know, once you use a fire extinguisher, the pin will not go back in it. So the pin won't go back in it, so I had to get rid of the fire extinguishers. Maggie of Maggie's Journey, who's on here as a moderator, she gave me a secondary fire extinguisher that she had, which is like a spray. It almost looks like a spray can. The one I had was like a real like fire extinguisher, the small one for your auto where you pull the pin and all that. This wind is blowing outside. But so Maggie gave me another fire extinguisher that's like almost like a spray can, like spray paint can. So I do have another fire extinguisher, but I think I want to get that one that I had too, and just have a second one as well, because if I were back here and that fire had started, I might not, you know what I'm saying? I might not be able to reach it. I think I should have two fire extinguishers. I think I should have one where that one is, and then another one back here just in case something else catches fire. It's nice to have a fire extinguisher on both ends of the van. So, thank you, Maggie. So what am I using for heat? So like I said, I'm not using anything for heat now. So I called Campco and I talked to a representative there. She emailed me their UPS number to return the heater and the hose to them so that they could replace them. So the heater will be replaced. I didn't do that yet. If I don't do it tomorrow, I'll probably do it while we're traveling over the weekend. I can go to any UPS store and do it. I want to kind of do it here with my guy from where my mailbox is. I kind of want to do it with somebody I'm familiar with. So yeah. So I basically have to send her the receipt for the vacuuming of the van. I make a copy of that at the library, and I'm going to look on my Amazon store for the cost of the rug, because I also want them to replace that as well, because that was burned due to their faulty equipment. So yeah, so they will be replaced. I don't have an issue with getting another one and using it, because again, I use that heater all of January at the RTR every single day and never had an issue with it. I don't know what happened in that 2 weeks while I wasn't using it. Don't know what happened. I don't know if maybe something happened with the hose. Don't know if because the heater was covered the whole time. I just don't know what happened. So it could, who knows what happened. So I don't have an issue with getting another heater and using it again. Pebbles is saying, I think if you go by the fire station, they can give you a free one and a smoke detector. Cool beans, thanks. Good night, Pishan, and all those that have to leave. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me. I know it's late. No, it's okay, Miss M. Yeah, you can put the link up for my Amazon store, Miss M. I would appreciate that. That'd be great, because I keep saying it. Crystal, how the fire happened in your van. Oh, you're gonna have to watch the replay, Sandy. I already talked about that. You missed it about 3 minutes ago. I just finished talking about the whole situation with the fire. Someone says get a wood burner. There's nowhere in here for a wood burning stove, and I'm not cutting holes in my ceiling for anything. I don't have, I did not make holes for my solar. When I get a fan, I don't plan on making holes for my fan. My fan will either go in the window back here, or it'll go on this side window here. I'll get plexiglass to replace this top part. My window, my two side windows, well, three side windows, because I have two side windows on the driver's side and one side window on the passenger side. My windows are, you have a big window on the top and then you have a small window on the bottom that has a slider. So I would replace the big window on the top with like some kind of plexiglass probably, or metal, and leave a hole for the fan to go in on the top corner. It'll either be here or it'll be over there by the one by the sink. I don't plan on cutting any holes in my roof of my vehicle at all. So yeah, I will not be doing a wood burning stove. And again, I don't have a place for a wood burning stove. I would completely have to redo this van to put a wood burning stove in here. There's nowhere for a wood burning stove to go. I don't have that kind of room. This is not an extended length van. If this was an extended length van, then I would definitely have room for a wood burning stove, but this is not an extended length van. It's a regular E150 regular length, not extended length. Extended length, you have about 2 more feet, and you have about almost another 6 inches to 12 inches of width. So, and if that were the case, my bed would be across this way, and I would have more than enough room for the wood stove, but I don't. What else? LA wants to know, is this because everyone gets leaks from the fans? I don't know about everyone getting leaks from their fans. I have heard of people getting leaks from their fans and holes cut for solar wiring to come through. I have heard of that. But I just personally don't want to cut into the roof. My vehicle, because it is a conversion van and it was not a cargo van, my whole this whole section here, you see where this wood is and this plexiglass stuff is? This is where lights are. I have electrical running down the whole middle of my van. And this is where my ductwork is for my rear heat and AC as well. So there's more to deal with than just the metal roof. And I have insulation here. Even though it's just a regular vehicle insulation, it's not any heavy duty insulation. It's still somewhat, insulated because this was a passenger van. So I've got the nice, fabric on the ceiling and it's in really good shape. I've tried not to mess this fabric up. I know Not Your Mama's van's fabric was kind of messed up because I drilled into it and everything, but it wasn't that great to begin with. This is really nice interior fabric. The only thing that was kind of messed up in this van when I got it was the carpet. The carpet wasn't super clean when I got it, but the wood is all in excellent condition except for where I've drilled into it now. And the lining is in excellent condition. The side lining, all of the lining on the sides of the walls on the, is in great condition. So I really don't want to be dealing with that. I also have little pocket lights all over. So there's a lot of electrical running through here and I don't want to deal with that. No, I don't want to have leaks. So I would definitely do kind of like Casey, Bob's assistant, did, and I would put my fan in the window. I have a window here that's perfect for it and it's a perfect location. However, it's a small skinny window, so they don't make fans that skinny. I would probably have to put a regular vent window or something, a vent there. Somebody's talking about an alcohol heater. I don't know about the alcohol heater. Try a 5100 alcohol heater. I will have to look that up. I've only seen the alcohol cook stove. So I've never had, FYI, if you're looking for new t-shirts, I put some new t-shirts in the, I designed some new t-shirts in the Teespring store. So Miss M, if you could throw that link up. So 5100 alcohol heater. It's by Dometic. It's 4.7 review. I'll have to watch some videos on it and see. Is that something that's going to run all night though? Because with my propane, I can run that all night. Get a man with big feet. Lord mercy, no. That is quite all right. You are crazy. Tammy wants to know, am I nervous or am I scared? I'm not. I didn't have an issue with that heater the whole time I had it. That was the first time anything weird happened. And I don't know if it was just a random faulty issue. So I'm not afraid to use it again if they replace it. I'm really not. I'm going to definitely, ask them to please let me know what they find as far as why it failed. But no, not afraid to use it again. Did I see... yeah, we already addressed that, Trinity Blue. I've already talked about that. You'll have to watch the repeat of the video. Mitt's Adventure says, fishnet netting hanging on the side of your bed on the wall. You can hook your glasses through the net for easy access. Anything in it that you might need at night. That's a good idea. I've been looking for and haven't been able to find, of course, because I'm looking for it. I used to find them everywhere all the time. But do you guys remember those cargo nets for the back of the vans or hatchbacks? And it was a net, and you could put your grocery bags in it, but it's a net material. That's what I've been looking for, and I cannot find it nowhere. And I actually used to have some back in Not Your Mama's van at one of my many different setups, and I can't find any to save me. And I used to have it in Not Your Mama's van. So anyway, I will find it eventually. Maggie is saying she thinks it was the hose. I personally think it was the hose too. I don't think it was the actual heater, but I'm returning the heater and not just the hose, because when I did use the fire extinguisher and the dust or the powder that all came out, it all went into the heater, because of course that's where the fire was, so that's where I was pointing it. And with those heaters, because they're a catalytic heater, you have to keep those heating elements covered when not in use. And I bought the cover too. Well, the person who bought me the heater bought me the cover. So it was covered the whole time it's not in use and cooled off. I put the cover on it. So that's why I want to replace the heater, because all of that dust out of the fire extinguisher got completely inside the heater, and that's no longer going to be functioning properly. So I need it all to be replaced. So again, they told me to send it back to them, and so I shouldn't have an issue. I will be raising hell and high water and doing all kinds of videos about it if I don't get it replaced. So anyway. LA says, how did you plug the holes where your seats were removed? So you can just put the bolts back in when you take the seat out. Put the bolts back in. That's probably the best thing to do. So with my seats were sitting on a metal plate. So it was like 2 bolts, and then you shifted the seat and the metal plate stayed there, which was what was exposed. So just leave the bolts in if yours doesn't have any kind of metal plating or anything. Just, put the bolts back in. Let me see. Because my bed basically covers my van is so small, guys. You'll see it in the video, but everyone who sees it in person, who came to RTR and saw it in person, said, oh my God, it looks so much bigger in person than it does on the video. So, but it's not like I'm walking in my van. First of all, it's not tall enough to stand. I basically sit on my bed in increments. Like if I'm doing dishes, I sit at the foot of the bed, because that's where my sink is across from the foot of my bed. So I'll sit on the foot of my bed and do my dishes. When I'm cooking, I sit here at the middle of my bed because my cooktop is further over, and I will sit on the bed and cook. So I'm not like walking around my van. So where my seats were, because I had 2 captain's chairs, my bed is covering up one area where the bolts are, and my cooktop and sink area is covering up the other part. So it's not like I'm going to be walking on those areas anyway. And I don't have any kind of flooring put down except for a rug in the middle on top of the carpet that was already here. I didn't put down any kind of flooring. I did not go and insulate. I didn't do any of that. So this is just a regular van. There's none of that extra stuff. Now, if it was a cargo van, an empty white cargo van, or even though, just completely metal cargo vans, I probably would definitely have put some sort of insulation, even if it was just like, bubble wrap or Reflectix, even though Reflectix is not an insulation. That's probably the cheapest thing to do, is to put some kind of Reflectix in there, or you can find the styrofoam, the 1/2-inch styrofoam sheets. put those in and then maybe put some beadboard up or something, because that's probably what I would do, is beadboard. I don't like wood. I don't like the look of wood. I would do white beadboard, and it's really super thin. You can buy that stuff that's so super duper thin that is no weight to it whatsoever. Or I would use the corrugated plastic, which I really love that stuff, and it's all white, and so I like the look of that. So I would do the really thin beadboard in white if it were me, or I would get the corrugated plastic, which is probably a little more expensive. Not expensive, but costs a little bit more. But it's the stuff that they make the big campaign signs out of when they're, those big signs when people are running for president or Congress or whatever. It's that stuff, and they sell it in Home Depot. Good night, everyone that has to leave. Mitz says Amazon has all kinds of cargo netting, so I'm gonna have to just buy it, I guess. I've been looking at thrift shops and stuff. I used to be able to find that kind of cargo netting all the time. I didn't want to buy it new. I just hate buying new when I know I can find it in a thrift shop, and I used to see it every thrift shop I'd go in. I would see it, but just because I'm looking for it, I'm not seeing it, and it's okay. If I end up having to buy it, I'll buy it. LA says, my van is a conversion van too. I have all the same issues, and this is really helping me. Yeah, I didn't want to cut any holes into anything for any reason, and you don't really have to. Honestly, you don't really have to. That's a falsehood. You don't have to cut holes into your vehicle. You really don't. Good night, 1970s girl. 60s girl. Sorry. How did I bolt my bed in? My bed is not bolted in at all. My bed is the only thing that's not secured down. I think everything else is pretty much secured down. I have not had issues. My bed has never been bolted down. Not in any of my vehicles. Not in my SUV. Not in Not Your Mama's van. And not in this van. I have never had a bed bolted down. Not yet. Now, you probably jinxed me by saying that. But I haven't had any issues with my bed moving. I don't know. I just don't. There's stuff under my bed. So in order for my bed to go flying forward, all the stuff under my bed would have to allow for that to happen. And I don't think all the stuff under my bed is going to let my bed go flying forward if I hit the brakes. It's just not. Because my bed is... my bed is a piece of plywood that is 68 inches long, I think. I think it's 68 inches long. The numbers are probably wrong, so sorry. 68 inches long, and it's a piece of 1/2-inch plywood. And it is about 11.5 inches tall. And what I did was I got 3 pieces of plywood. 3. And I have a solid piece at one end that is the 25, because this is the same piece of plywood I had when I had my other bed, which was 25 inches wide. So it's 25 inches wide by 11 inches tall on this end, and in the middle. So I have 3 supports, and that's all I have. But I'm also only 130 pounds, somewhere between 125 and 130. I don't know how much I weigh. I don't weigh myself anymore, and the gym doesn't have a scale because Planet Fitness does not believe in scales at their gym. So I don't know how much I weigh. I could even be 120 for all I know. So I'm gonna say I'm somewhere between 120 and 130. I don't know. And I am not a wild sleeper either. And my bed is 30 inches wide, so it's 5 inches wider than my bed base. And it's 75 inches long. So it's 5 to 6 inches longer than my bed base. So, because the mattress was gifted to me and I just didn't cut it down to fit the bed. I wanted to try it out at this size. And I didn't want to buy new plywood and make a bigger bed in case I decided to cut this mattress down. Then I would have to end up cutting the plywood down again. So I kept my bed base the same. And the mattress is just what it is. It's just on top. So I have a 30-inch wide mattress by 70 inches long sitting on a 25-inch wide bed base by like 67 inches long. So my bed base is shorter and narrower than my mattress. But remember, I have a big container at the head of the bed under it for tools. I have a duffel bag next to that that has all of my photos. It's got books and it's got files in it. Then there's the divider, the divider piece of plywood. Next to the divider piece of plywood, I have two stacked one on top of each the other fabric underbed storage containers with all of my soft items in it. It has it has a couple of blankets, it has a Snuggie, it has some sheets, it has an extra towel, it has and then the other one has my 3 packing cubes of summer clothes in it. And then next to that is my battery. So all of those things would have to shift with my bed if I were to hit the brakes hard. And those things, because I'm using solid pieces of plywood and not legs, nothing's going to go between the pieces of plywood. So there's one piece of plywood at this end, one piece of plywood at this end, and one in the middle. Because they're solid, all that stuff would have to shift in order for the whole bed to go. The bed's not going to go nowhere. I have slammed on brakes before in all of my vehicles, and I've never had a bed bolted down. Now, my plastic bins with all my stuff in it on this side, my wall of plastic bins, those are all bungeed in to the actual. So I put L brackets in the wood of my van on the wall, and then I took heavy duty bungees and bungeed in my bungeed around the plastic shelves with the L brackets. So they're all secure as well. But yeah, my bed hasn't moved yet. So I hope that helps you a little bit, LA. So LA is saying, makes my life so much easier. I think I will need some more support. Thank you because so much heavier. Yeah, so I did at one point, and I'm not sure if it was this bed or another version of my bed. At one point, I did have 2 walls. I had 2 underneath. But when I got different containers, I only needed 1 in the middle. And it hasn't been an issue. Because I think it's because my bed is so much lower to the ground. It's only 11 to 11.5 inches off the ground. So I think if it were higher, I would probably have to do something different. So I think the higher you build your bed, I think also the more support you're going to need. I'm pretty close to the ground, and the reason why is I want to be able to sit up in bed and not bump my head. Because this is my predominant area for sitting, even though I do have a small camp chair that I can sit in. It's just not what I do. I either sit here at the head of the bed with the pillows propped up behind me, or I sit at the foot of the bed. I have another pillow that stays there. So I definitely use my bed as my couch. So that's why I make my bed up every day. And I keep it neat because it looks like a couch, during the day. It's almost like, a day bed type thing where I can sit on it during the day and not feel like I'm sitting on my bed. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Bobby, you got to go, Holmes. Bye-bye. So to me, it just makes it look more than just a regular bed. It looks more like a day bed. So during the day, I'm using it like it's my couch or a chaise lounge or something like that. I try and hang out during the day. Even if it's a lazy day like today, I will get up, I will make my bed, and I'll use like this Snuggie blanket that was gifted to me, this red Snuggie blanket, and I'll use this to lay across my legs while I'm just sitting here watching Netflix, because I don't want to feel like I'm in the bed all day. Because when I go to bed at night, I like to put on my pajamas, wash my face, brush my teeth, I wash my feet. I have this thing, I need to have clean feet when I go to bed. So I'll wash my feet, and then I want to open my covers up, and I want to get in the bed. I don't want my bed unmade all day. To me, that is not appealing at all. And I feel like you get more dust in your bed when it's open like that. The top layer might get some dust on it, but I'm not, getting in that with my pajamas. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. I don't know. And even when I have a pajama day where I stay in PJs all day, I will still make my bed up, sit on the top of it with another blanket or a Snuggie or something on me, because I just feel like I'm on a couch instead of in my bed under my covers. Let's see. All right, Pebbles is saying you can check out a diesel burning heater. No, I won't do that. If this van ran on diesel, maybe, but those are really expensive, and no, I'm not going to do that. Judith says, have you thought about a Murphy bed that folds up? No, that was my other thing. I do not want something I got to put down. The most I want to do is peel back the covers and go to bed. I do not want to have a bed that I have to pull down or shift or make into a bed every day. I don't want that. And honestly, it wouldn't work for me in this vehicle, even if I were to go that route, because I have stuff under my bed, so it wouldn't be saving me any space. To have my bed up like that would not save me any space. I have things under my bed that can't go anywhere but under my bed. So it doesn't make sense for me to have a Murphy bed anyway. So no, I don't. I would definitely not do that. Hi, Fortunate Adventures. Buddy and Doug says, I keep the bed made up and presentable every day. Hey there, Doug. And Rita says, I stress that all the time. Don't leave the bed unmade. No, and I think that's something that was really kind of drilled in me as a kid. My mom, you had to make your bed up every day. And so it's stuck. That's one of the habits that stuck with me. And I just feel better coming to bed with a made bed and moving the covers, opening the covers, and getting in the bed. So, yeah, to me, that just feels like I'm actually going to bed. Seeing my bed unmade all day long like that, I don't like that. Tamika says your moderators are strong. That was actually me that deleted that person. Doug says, you have seen the inside of my van. It looks like that most of the time. Yes, I did do a tour video of Doug's van. Doug, I'm only doing my tour videos once a month to spread them out since I didn't do that many. So yours will be coming up in a few months, just so you know. I didn't forget about you. I still have them. Hi, Tamika. Thanks for joining the live. Well, we've been on here for almost 2 hours. What is it, like an hour and a half or something? All of a sudden, my clock doesn't go into hours anymore. It's just doing straight minutes. I don't know what the latest YouTube update must have done that. I don't like that. It used to tell you like an hour and X amount of minutes. Now it says like 96 minutes and 50 some seconds. That's just dumb. That's stupid. That's so stupid. Anyway, I'm just saying, we've been on for like an hour and a half, so it's fine. I don't have anything else to talk about, so I'm just gonna wait for you guys to ask questions. I don't have this was a completely impromptu random live, so I do appreciate and thank all my moderators for jumping on when you get that notification, because honestly, nobody knew I was gonna be on live. I didn't even know I was gonna be on live. So for real, I just completely decided to jump on live because I was bored. So yeah. So I'm gonna have to apparently report this person as well. There we go. All right. So we've got a moderator on here who looks like they're working with the troll. Interesting. Very interesting. I'm just trying to figure this out. And that's interesting because that particular moderator has been a moderator for a little while. So, interesting. Please don't time that person out. Report them. Timing them out just lets them come back. So don't time them out. Hide them on the channel or report them. I would prefer you report them. Timing them out lets them come back. So please don't time them out when they're that adamant about being a jerk. I'm not telling anyone where I am. I don't normally tell people where I am when I'm in that location. So on a live video, it doesn't make sense for me to tell you where I am, because then somebody could come find me. So I'm not telling anybody where I am right now in this live video. I will tell you that I was in Ehrenberg. But yeah, I'm not telling anybody where I am right now, and I'm getting ready to go do some traveling. So yeah, I'm not doing that. If this was not a live video, I might share where I am because you don't know if I'm still there or not. But because we're on live, you clearly know where I am. So if I say it. Zoe says, I remember a video where you said you were going to get a bunch of rags to use instead of tissues. Did you do that? And if so, how's it going? So I did do that to a certain extent. So what I was going to do is I was going to use that for toilet paper. It doesn't quite work for me for toilet paper. So I now use rags or, reusable towels for actual towels. Instead of buying paper towels all the time, I'm using more reusable towels instead. So I am buying toilet tissue, but I'm very conscious of how much I'm using of the toilet tissue. And I try, if I can, buy some sort of recycled toilet tissue or like a bamboo toilet tissue. It's a little more expensive, but to me, a bamboo is quicker to renew itself and grow than regular paper from a tree. That being said, I was gifted a roll of bamboo paper towels, and I also bought myself, a roll of bamboo paper towels. And, depending on the brand of bamboo paper towel, you can rewash it 65 to 85 times. You can wash them over and over again. And I cut some down to smaller sizes to use for washing dishes. I cut some down to half sheets to use for just, rags. And I kept some at full size paper towel sheets, for picking up spills and stuff like that. So I am using a lot of my bamboo paper towels. As a matter of fact, the roll that I bought is over here. And I'll show it. This is also in my Amazon store. This is Kitchen Home. This is not the brand that was gifted to me. I couldn't find that brand, but this is the one I have. It's called Kitchen Home Bamboo Towels, and it says replaces up to 6 months of paper towels, washable and reusable. There are 20 sheets on this roll, and they are 12 inches by 11 inches. So these are really, really big paper towels, and you can cut them up. And this one can be washed. Does it say? It doesn't say. My other one says 85 times. Yeah, this one doesn't say how many times you can wash it. Hand wash or machine wash. Do not use fabric softener. Air dry. Do not put in the dryer. Do not iron. So this one doesn't say how many times you can wash it. But the other ones say 85 times. But when researching, it did say, depending on the brand, 65 to 85 times. You can tell when you can't use it anymore. It starts kind of falling apart a little bit, I think, after so many washes. So let's see. Oh, okay. See you later, Doug. Bedtime for Patricia. Good night, good night, good night. What else? This one person is really deciding to, Rita says, one day I will be out there, even if it's part-time. Fibromyalgia, lupus, and RA are now separating. Wait, what? Spreading or separating? And now separating. Oh, separating, I guess, from your spouse. Okay, I'm praying about all of that. Yeah, you would be surprised how many people with some sort of health issue, they're out here living the van life. And I think a lot of people get to the point where they can't live in sticks and bricks on disability. And so it's a money issue. But a lot of people also just want to live their best life while they can. And while their health is not as bad as it's going to end up being, kind of thing. So I think a lot of people want to hit the road and do what they can before their health gets so bad that they can't do it. So they want to do it now while they have some sort of, ability to do that. Oh my goodness, we got a lot of them trolls just jumping all over the place, huh? Whew. Baby wiping. Interesting. So this person keeps getting unhidden. And the person that's unhiding them So the person that's unhiding them, apparently, it looks like, according to mine, is an admin. Or is it a new name? Because it looks like the same name over and over again. Okay, just do report. Because one time it says so-and-so unhid them. And that only an admin can do, a moderator can do that. So just not only hide him from this channel, but go ahead and report them as well. You can do both. You can hide them from the channel and then click on it again before it disappears and hit report. And if you report it, then that particular one will get reported. It looks like it's the same name though, so I don't know what's going on with that. YouTube algorithm is not working with us tonight. But we've been on long enough, and this usually happens that if I'm on for more than an hour or getting close to an hour, all of the trolls come out. So I don't know what it is. So anyway, bamboo paper towels. These are also in the Amazon influencer store if you want to get yourself some as well. So I think we're going to wrap this up because I am definitely tired of dealing with this person. So Mahadi, don't time the person out. Make sure you hide them and report them. Hide user on this channel and then report them as well. And when you report it, do it as harassment or bullying, and then choose is harassing someone I know, because I will choose that they are harassing me. So when you report it, do it as harassment or bullying, and then it'll ask you, is this person harassing you or someone you know, and put someone I know. So Leslie is saying that he did this on another live a few nights ago. Yeah, so what it is, if you go onto YouTube, there's a tab you can hit to see who's live right now. And it'll definitely give you a list of all the channels that are live right now. So you can just go on YouTube, see who's live right now, join in anybody's live that you want, and then just kind of troll them. So but we all know that trolls are lonely, lonely souls sitting in their mommy's basement in their underwear in front of their computer monitors, thinking they're big and bad, eating their Hot Pockets. So I'm just saying. You keep eating your Hot Pockets, boo-boo, and yell on down to your mama. Maybe she'll bring you some Kool-Aid. Okay? Maybe they'll bring you some Kool-Aid down. Mama, I need another Hot Pocket and some red Kool-Aid. Yes, hiding them and even reporting them. They can still watch it, but they won't be able to comment. So the only thing we can do when it says hide them on this channel, that's our way of blocking them. But most of them have multiple Gmails set up, so they have multiple accounts. Just saying. Somebody said drinking up all the Capri Suns. I know, sitting up there drinking up all the Capri Suns. Oh my gosh, I can't. I was gifted this cool water bottle. Y'all know purple's not my color, but it's a really nice water bottle. I used to have a water bottle like this that was glass, and this is glass. I'm hoping I don't break this one like I did the last one, because the last one fell out of my van and it broke. But it's got that rubbery thing so this is rubbery. Okay, it's like a rubber almost, or silicone. Maybe it's silicone, and that gives you a nice grip. And it's made by Elo, and it was gifted to me. Hold on, I don't know if you can see it. Hold on. It's not showing up. There we go. ELO. ELLO. And this is a screw top one. So I keep it back here for me to use while I'm in the bed. Because when I'm driving, I don't want to be tilting my head back to drink. So I have a really nice Contigo water bottle up at the front that has a flip top and a straw, so I can just suck that one and not have to tilt my head while I'm driving. So this one is my nighttime water bottle. And this was gifted by a Vanner family member to me. So I really like this. So this sits in my basket. My basket, this sits in there. So I'll show you what I have in my basket. So this is my nightstand. It's kind of weird, but this is my nightstand. So my water bottle sits in there. My eyeglass case sits in there. I always have a box of hot tamales. And these are my cell phone cameras. So these two cell phones are not hooked up to any service. They're Wi-Fi only. And so these are what I use for my cameras when I'm filming tours, video tours of people's rigs. Oh, I do have a chapstick in here. And a chapstick usually is in here as well. And there's some change in the bottom of there. Sometimes when I go to bed, my pockets have change in them, and I don't feel like going up and getting my purse out of its hiding place, so I just toss the change in here. And so that's so my actual cell phone that I use that has service on it, it also sits in that basket as well. So this is like my nightstand. And at one point I had it hanging here with some zip ties, but if the water bottle is full, it tilts. So I'm always afraid I'm gonna drop this water bottle on my head. So I took that down. But I don't know. I'm debating about putting it back up in some other kind of way. Maybe not with zip ties. Maybe something a little more thicker, something thicker than a zip tie. Or maybe I need to use more than just one zip tie on each side. Maybe I need to use a couple of zip ties. I don't know. Hey, Patrick. So the new van tour is coming at the end of this month. Go to crystalvanner.com. Look on the... Oh, no, Pam! Don't hide Patrick. Oh, my gosh. Ah! Oh, I don't know if we can undo it. Oh, no, I think you just took Patrick away. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, unhide. Whew. Patrick is actually... He is somebody who... Patrick is somebody who's allowed to be here. I know he called me hun, but it's not the same guy. Patrick is okay. Patrick's part of the family. So the van tour is coming at the end of this month. Go to crystalvanner.com, click on calendar, and you will see it's the last Sunday of this month is a live van tour. 24th. So it's a live van tour. It's okay, Pam. Pam got excited. Pam was like, oh my gosh, I love it. Oh my gosh, I love you. I love it, Pam. I love that you was on it, though, for real. I love that you was, like, looking out, and I appreciate that. Rue wants to know, do I need any food? No, I am so good on food. So I had a lovely, 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 lovely lady go into my wish list and buy all of the let me show you. The Tasty Bites that I like to eat. She bought so many of these that I don't have room for anything else. So this one is mushroom masala. These are all natural. They're non-GMO. You can find them on Amazon. I also have them in my Amazon influencer store. This one is so yummy. Okay? So yummy. They're all so yummy. And it's almost like Indian type food. And you know how it says microwave for 60 seconds? So I take my, I still have my pots and pans sitting on the bed here, so I'll just show you. So I take my pot, my collapsible pot, and if you didn't see this, you have to watch the replay. I shared all this. I put my water in the pot, and I just boil this in the water. And what I do is I open it up just a little so the steam can come out, and I boil this in the water, and then I just pour it over some rice, because I make the rice first usually, and then I pour it over the rice. Or I'll get the boiling bag rice and I'll put this and the boiling bag rice, both of them together in one, and boil it for about 10 minutes, maybe 12 minutes. and it'll get nice and hot. And there it is. There's your meal for the day. So I have so many of these different flavors, like 4 or 5 different kinds of this. So I'm good when it comes to food. So yep, I've got food. Thank you so much. I appreciate that though. If you're ever trying to figure out what to give me, if you want to gift me something and you don't want to PayPal money, I understand a lot of people are like, I don't want to give you money. I want to give you something you can use. My wish list is on the description box of every video. Every video, and it's only good through April 25th because I'm leaving May 1st, so I don't want to get anything after April 25th. Okay. So it's okay. Patrick's back. No worries. Patrick is good to go. But yes, we were having an issue with the troll Patrick, and he kept coming in. So when you said I'm back, hun, I don't think anybody paid attention. I don't think she paid attention to your name, but she saw your comment, and so she assumed that guy was back again. So that's what it was. It wasn't you in particular. I think she just saw your comment of I'm back, hun. So we had just gotten rid of him after so many attempts of trying to get rid of him. So I think that was the issue. Sorry, Patrick. Her mod hand is strong. You know how they say the pimp hand is strong? Her mod hand is strong. Oh my gosh, I can't. Yes. What is it? Vonda Harris is asking me, have I ever tried the lentil tasty bites? The lentil one is so good. So when I get low on these, I'll probably put the lentils back in my wish list because those are so yummy. Rita wants to know, I heard about mice getting in the van. Yes. So good night to everyone who has to go. Good night. So Miss V actually had a couple of mice in her van at one point. So we have experienced mice before. It's not fun at all. So yes, it can happen. You just do preventative stuff and hope that it doesn't happen. Like we have lights under our van, moving lights, flashing lights. We hope that deters them. We also pop our hoods open a little bit. We put one of the big rocks from the desert in there, and we don't use our stick for propping our hood open. The reason why is the wind can get really crazy out here, and we have heard we camped with someone who's their stick that you prop your hood open with got bent, so we don't prop it open all the way because you don't want all that dust blowing inside either. So we just prop it open a little bit, and we put one of the big rocks in there, and we put a light in under our hood as well to deter them because they will get in, they will eat your wires, they will eat your hoses, and that's a lot of money to replace those things, money that you're not trying to do. Yes, someone said fabric softener sheets deter them as well. I need to get a pack of those from Dollar Tree because I have a couple of corners I want to put them in the back here. They also don't like mints and peppermint, so peppermint essential oil, I sprinkle that throughout the place. Yeah, so, and we also have simple green. They also don't like that simple green, I've heard. So outside, I like to spray my tires. If I'm going to be camped somewhere for like a week or so, I spray my tires with simple green as well. Good night, everybody that has to go. It is raining where I am right now. It's been raining since last night, and so I was really bored because I've been able to do nothing outside for about 24 hours now. So yes. I'm trying to look. Anything else that I missed? Questions? I think that was it. I did hear Irish Spring soap works as well for mice, so I don't know. So yeah, maybe I'll get a bar of Irish Springs. I think they do sell that at Dollar Tree, and I can like rub it on my hubcaps. I really like to keep that stuff outside because I just don't even want them to get close to my vehicle. So maybe that's something I can rub like on my hubcaps and on the side walls of my tires, so they don't, because that's where they're going to crawl up. They're going to crawl up on your tires. So I'm going to rub it on my hubcaps, and the smell's not that bad. I mean, I wouldn't use it on my body because I prefer to use natural soaps, but the smell of Irish Spring is not that bad. So Dollar Tree is the ace in the hole. I love Dollar Tree over all other dollar stores because I know everything I pick up is $1, whereas Family Dollar and stuff, everything is not. Good night, sweetie. Who was that said that? Mahadi, good night. So yeah, I really prefer Dollar Trees, but lately where we were camped for a little while, there was only a Family Dollar around. So I did end up getting some stuff from Family Dollar on occasion. But I just prefer Dollar Tree. I know everything I pick up. If I pick up 14 items, I'm going to pay $14 in tax. And there's no science to it. It's just $1 for everything. Yeah, Dollar Tree, depending on where you go and which areas you live in, there are some really nice Dollar Trees. I've been into some really nice Dollar Trees, so don't sleep on Dollar Tree. Gilbert says, I heard mint oil is very effective. So yeah, peppermint essential oil, we said that. Anything with a mint or a pepperminty kind of a scent, they don't like that scent at all. So the Irish Spring has a mint scent, peppermint essential oils, Simple Green, anything that has that minty, pepperminty, spearminty smell, they don't like it. So they tend to stay away from it. And I don't know what it is about the, what do you call it, dryer sheets, because those really don't smell like minty, but I think it's just that strong smell of the dryer sheets, because dryer sheets are super strong. I don't use dryer sheets in my clothing because and I don't use fabric softener either, because they put a coating on your clothing. Have you ever, like, after using them for a while, you have like this coating on your clothing, and I don't like the way that feels. It doesn't feel like fabric anymore. But when I do laundry in the little section of the washer where you're supposed to put your fabric softener, I put vinegar. I put vinegar as my fabric softener. That goes through the rinse cycle. But just plain white vinegar. But yeah, I don't use dryer sheets in my clothing either. I'll deal with the static electricity when I go to fold them. It's no big deal because I want my fabric to still feel like fabric. Excuse me. Jeremy said citric and acid. I don't know what do you mean, citric and acid? I don't know. I do not know. Oh, Miss M is saying it's the sheet coating that rats don't like. It's not so much the scent. Okay, good to know. So they don't like that coating either. I don't like it neither. Good to know. LA Gun says mosquitoes do not like dryer sheets either. Oh, I didn't know that. That's good to know. So when I put my screen up, I can rub some dryer sheet on it, and maybe that will deter the mosquitoes from coming in. Patrick said, I used to work at a Dollar Tree until I hurt my back unloading kitty litter. 13 years on workman's comp. Got great settlement. Still a great store. Yeah, I had considered, if I had to go back to work, I had considered that would be a place that I would work, is a Dollar Tree or a thrift shop. You know, places that I like to enjoy shopping at anyway. And that, it's not like work type thing. So, yeah. Raw meat would make a mess. What? Why are you talking about raw meat? Okay, are you trolling us, Jeremy? I'm about to give you a timeout. Because I'm not sure if you're... Oh, raw mint. Okay, sorry. I timed you out, my bad. Oh, maybe the timeout didn't work. Sorry, Jeremy. I thought you were trolling us. All right, I put you in a timeout, so you just have to wait. You were saying raw meat. I didn't know what you were talking about. I'm sorry. It's my bad. Real life. What was your name again? Oh, too many comments. Real life reflection says a natural repellent for mosquitoes and many other critters is neem oil. Oh, I did not know that. Am I saying that right? Neem? Neem? It's spelled like seam, so I'm assuming it's neem. Let me put that in my things to look up. Neem oil. All right, I will put that in my thing to look up. I'm going to read what it says here. It says, what is neem oil? Neem oil is a naturally occurring pesticide found in seeds from the neem tree. It is yellow to brown, has a bitter taste, and a garlic/sulfur smell. It has been used for hundreds of years to control pests and diseases. Components of neem oil can be found in many products today. These include toothpaste, cosmetics, soaps, and pet shampoos. Neem oil is a mixture of components. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. It reduces insect feeding and acts as a repellent. Huh. Okay. I put that in my arsenal of things to look up on Amazon to see if they have it. Patrick said, yeah, we had a case come in of the boy and girl. I bought both cases. Oh, Patrick said, oh, that's where you got the kids from? Oh, you want to see the kids? Let me get the kids. Your dad wants to see you, kids. Let me get the kids. Okay. I gotta get the kids. What were their names again? Buzz and Calypso. These are me and Patrick's kids. His name is Buzz. That's what his tag said. And her name is Calypso. Buzz and Calypso. I'm going to sit them here. Dad says hi. Hi, Dad! Good night, everybody that's having to leave. So you bought a case of the boy and a case of the girl? Really? Oh my gosh, that's too funny. We had a case come in of the boy and I bought both cases. That is too funny. So LA Gunn said, you guys use neem oil too? Okay. Use neem oil for 2 summers and I still got bit by mosquitoes. Okay, maybe it doesn't work. Oh my gosh. Patrick says, and Buzz is how I'm dressed 90% of the time. You're always in shorts with no shirt. Did he legit have no shirt when you got him? Because I'm like, why he got no shirt on? Not even a tank top. I'm going to have to make him a little tank top because I don't know about him being bare-chested all the time. You must have got them in the summer. They must have came in the summertime. But she should have on a halter top, you know? She should maybe I'll cut her shirt in half and make her because she got on shorts and a long sleeve. I've never understood that. I used to not understand why people would wear shorts and a sweatshirt. If it's cold enough to have your upper body covered up, why are your legs still exposed? I never understood people that did that. Oh, maybe they are swimming trunks. But if he's in swimming trunks, then she should be in a bikini or a one piece, right? Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Anyway. He said you can buy the kids clothes if you like. I'm not going to buy them clothes. I might cut her sleeves off, though, because I feel like she should be in a short sleeve shirt. I'm not feeling her in a long sleeve shirt and shorts. That makes no sense to me. So I might cut her sleeves off and hem it so it's a short sleeve. And I'm gonna have to find him a little tank top, I think. I think I need him to have a tank top on. Cause they might not be swim trunks, they might just be regular shorts. I'm just saying. Debbie says she wants some kids. I'm not gonna buy the TI. Let's see, TY kids clothes. Rue says, do you still want the clothes on your wish list? What clothes? I don't think I have any clothing on my wish list. Oh, thank you for the Cash App. Somebody sent me Cash App. That was so sweet. Thank you. All right. I didn't think I had any clothes on my wish list. Let me double check. Let me double check. I didn't think I had clothes. Because at one point I had these long sleeve tees on and they were bought already. So, let me go. Crystal Vanner wish list. Let's see. I've got some paint. I've got a tool that I need to fix my solar. I don't see any clothes. Not yet, anyway. There are no clothes on my wish list. Nope. No clothes. Then some Dr. Bronner soap. I got some books. I've got some scarves. Which I really don't need those scarves. I'm glad you said that because I should go back and there's only a couple of these. I don't need I don't need this one. I'm going to delete this one. And I'm going to delete this one. I'll keep the black one. I'll keep the gray one. I'm going to delete this one. Yeah, there are no clothes on the wish list, I don't think. There's some random things, but not clothes. I don't need that. I don't need that. I think there was... Yeah, I don't see any clothes. Maybe you haven't seen the wish list since I deleted some stuff. I deleted some stuff and some people bought some stuff, so maybe go back and look at it again. Feed her some more so her arms can grow. I know it's like her hands are hidden under there too. Like her sleeves are so long. Look at her. You can barely even see her hands. I feel like let me roll her sleeves up or something. Because this is I just feel like we're having issues here. Let me just put a little cuff in her. Let me put a little cuff in her sleeve so we can at least see her hands. Jiminy crickets. These are the twins. I'm going to call them the twins. My twins. My boy and girl twins. I'm just saying, Patrick, you do know that when I get back to the East Coast, these are probably going to be given to my granddaughter, right? I'm just saying. I'm probably not going to keep them. They're going to go live with my granddaughter. Okay. See? Now we can see her hands. But I think I need to cut this and make these short sleeve. Yeah, I think this needs to be short sleeves. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm going to give this to my granddaughter. I think I'm going to give her these dolls. Oh, somebody else is like, granddaughter? There are garments and head wraps. Okay. When you are keeping your solar, since you don't... Okay, somebody wants to know. Buzz is ready for Freaky Friday. No, they're kids. They're kids. They're not part of Freaky Friday. LA says, where do you keep your solar since you don't drill holes? So I have a luggage rack on top, so they are bolted to the luggage rack, and the wire comes in the side doors, in between the two side doors, and so it's closed in the door. There's a rubber piece there, and they're in the rubber piece and then closed into the door. So yeah, that's how I do it. Somebody else say they see clothes on my wish list too. That's weird. Okay, hold on. Because I'm not seeing it. Are you guys sure that you're in the wish list and not in the you might be in the influencer store? Make sure you're on the wish list, because I don't see clothes in my wish list. There is a red coat and there's scarves, but I don't see actual clothing items though. Like there's no t-shirts or pants, or at least not that I'm seeing on my side. Refresh it again. It's like a long hijab scarf that I can wrap my hair with. There's like a silvery gray one and a black one, and then a printed one. And then I see, this is what I see. I'm gonna show you. I don't know if it'll show up here, but these are the three. Oh shoot, it's not gonna show here. Let me turn the brightness down. So those, oh shoot. Okay, see the scarves? Those are scarves. And then there is a jacket, which has been on there since last year, I think, almost. And that's it. I don't see any other. There's like a phone case. There's some rice, boiling bag rice. Yeah, I don't see anything else. There's some cranberry juice. There's some books. I do have some Kitchen of India things in there, but I really don't need those. I mean, I have a place to put them if somebody buys them. I don't really need those, though. There's some cod liver oil, so I'm not seeing clothing. If you see it on there, she said the jacket is a clothing item. I don't really consider a jacket as a clothing. That's like outerwear. That's not, clothing is like clothes, which goes right on your skin. I do not need the jacket. I have another jacket. But someone had gifted me a really nice Eddie Bauer jacket that I gave to a young woman who had no winter coat at all. And I already had a medium weight coat that I can wear a hoodie underneath to make it my winter jacket. and have done that and with no problems. But if someone wants to buy that coat, I really want that coat because I would just give somebody else my other coat that I have here. So yeah, if you want to get the coat, that's fine, but it's not an actual need right now. So, you know, that's on you. What is it? Miss Adventure says The Shape of Water is a good movie. You should have that on your wish list. The Shape of Water. Can I just watch that on can I just watch it like on my tablet on somewhere else? I don't know if I want to buy it. I'm not a big movie buyer so much, unless it's really something that I want to share. Like, there are some books that I have on my wish list, and I think a couple of movies that I have on my wish list that I know I'm going to watch more than once. So she's like, shh, take the gesture. I understand. Okay, I understand, Jamie. Okay, Jeremy, I'll do it. I'll be quiet. And movie pass. I'm just saying, if somebody wants to buy me a movie pass, I'm just saying, that's cool. All right, so Shape of Water. Let me put that on my things to look into. Shape of Water. The Shape of Water. All right, that's down for me to look into. All right. Oh, you know what, Patrick? I didn't look at all the movies, so yeah, I'll look in all the movies, because Patrick, I don't know what if you guys watched that video or were on that video when I mentioned it, but Patrick sent me a huge external hard drive with thousands of movies on it, and I have not even began to go through all the titles to see what is all on there. Good night, Miss M. Thank you for the links as always. Appreciate you. I'm not going to be on much longer. I'm just going to run up to the front and turn my van off since it's been running this whole time. Alrighty. Alright, so the van was running that whole time that we've been on for 136 minutes, according to my YouTube. So, yeah, I will look in the list of movies that Patrick sent me and definitely see if The Shape of Water is in there. Because I really had to get some, whatchamacallit, juice into my batteries. That's why I had it running this whole time. Can I be your friend, Patrick? Mitch says she wants to be your friend too, Patrick. That's too funny. I do have a CO2 detector. I have a CO2 and a smoke alarm right back here. So, I'm outside though. My van running I'm not gonna get carbon monoxide poisoning from my van running. I'm outside. It's not like it's running in a garage. I'm fine. It's fine. Yeah, I mean, I needed to make sure my batteries were charged. So it's been running for 137 minutes. 136 minutes. So 90 minutes is an hour and a half. So almost 2 hours, not quite 2 hours. I'm just saying. Gay wants to know, am I watching Master of None on Netflix? I'm not actually watching that on Netflix. What did I just finish watching on Netflix? I watched, what did I watch recently? Let me go and see, because I bounce around with stuff. So I've been rewatching True Blood on Amazon Prime Video. If you haven't watched that, it was on HBO when it first came out, and now it's free to watch on Amazon Prime Video if you have Amazon Prime. Let's see, I watched, has any of you watched the One Day at a Time remake on Netflix? So good. I'm usually not a big fan of reboots and remakes, but this is really good because they're definitely not trying to make it like the original. It is so good. And it's a Cuban family, so it's not even, she's a single mom, she served in the military. It's really, really good. So I watched that. I finished watching the new season of Frankie and Grace came out. I finished watching that. I tried watching, what is this series? There are a lot of like BBC type things on Netflix, and I tried watching Botched Up Bodies. It's about plastic surgery gone bad. I don't know why I like kind of stuff like that. And I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't get over the British slang. It was just too much for me. And then I tried watching Diva Brides, which is also like a BBC type British thing. Again, I couldn't. They were just too much for me. Their attitudes, and I don't get their slang words. I don't get it. What you mean we preface? Huh? Okay, I don't understand. What? Okay, go ahead. Let me wait. I don't know what just happened here. I've got stuff to do. B, she has my attention. I was just saying there's something so interesting about her. Love True Blood. Been watching True Blood too. Jeremy is saying we've been talking and we come to the conclusion that this is a hoax, and when you log out, you go in the house. Really? So people think that I just sit in this van that I've made up into a camper van, and when I log off of a video, I go into a house? Okay. So there are currently LA Gun, Maggie, Judy, Catherine, not sure if Miss V is still on, but there are like 5 people who also live in their vans. LA is almost living in her van. They have all camped with me or seen my vehicle in real life. So that's not the case. That's not the case at all. Nope, that's not the case. Caveman Vance says, are you going to get a bigger van? I'm currently window shopping for a van. I thought about getting a small van like yourself, but I'm afraid I would be too cramped. What do you mean a bigger van? I'm in a bigger van. I just got a bigger van. I just got a bigger van. I don't know what you mean by bigger. Do you mean taller? Like I can stand up in it? Maybe that's what you mean. No, I do have a bigger van. I just got this van this past summer. It hasn't even been a year yet. I would like my next van, which won't be for a few years. I would like my next van to be something I could stand up in. I wouldn't mind an extended length, maybe 2 more feet back and maybe 1 more foot wider and be able to stand up. Those would be like #goals in a few years, but it's just going to depend on what my money situation looks like at that time. So, yeah. Oh, Cheryl. Oh, Cheryl. I can't believe you said that. I am not repeating what you just typed up there. I'm not repeating it. I'm not not even repeating what you just said. I'm not doing it. Patrick says maybe the first year in the fall or the winter. No, the very first year when I moved out of my apartment with the second husband on August 27th of 2015, I completely went full time. Now that first winter, I did stay with a friend because it was freaking cold. And the following winter, I stayed with someone as well because you just can't. Northern Virginia I'm sorry, it's just too cold. There is no way I could do this in Northern Virginia when it's like, 10 below. There's no amount of heater. There's no amount of nothing that's going to keep me warm on the East Coast winters. It's just not going to happen. So I definitely had to stay with someone in the winter months. But I'm telling you, it was like, I want to say April 1st, I went back to the van. Even though it was still cold, I went back to the van and just layered up with lots of blankets. Because staying with somebody was not what I wanted. And it was just hell living in sticks and bricks. It really was. Patrick says, that's what I meant. My bad. Maybe missed this, but what type of movies do you like watching? I like all kinds of movies. My favorite genre of movie is horror movies. And there's a new horror movie that I just saw the trailer for with, what's her name from The Help? The one that made the chocolate pie. That's going to be good. It's called Ma. M-A, Ma. It's going to be so good. I think it's going to be good. And I cannot... Octavia Spencer, that's her name. I just saw the preview for it. It was on Facebook. Oh my gosh. It's gonna be so freaking cool. I have to keep remembering the camera is over there and I keep looking at the screen over here. Then I gotta look at so the camera's over here, the screen I'm looking at right here, and then the comments are coming up on this side. So my eyes are all over the place. Please forgive me. This is nothing but water. I am not drinking. Mitt's Adventure says, I'm going to start with my Chevy HHR. Insurance calls it a truck. Oops. Insurance calls it a truck. I call it a big station wagon. My son calls it a small SUV, so I have no idea what it is. Yeah, that's fine. I started with my 2000 GMC Jimmy. I was only in it for a couple of months. It really started, so from August when I started until maybe November. So August, September, October, November. So 3 months. And then I found I'm not sure when I found Nacho Mama's van. It was either November or December of 2015. I cannot remember which it was. I want to say it was November. But yeah, so, yep. Patrick, you can't put that up here. Mitt says that Octavia Spencer is in The Shape of Water too. Okay, I will definitely check out that movie. You guys are too funny. Yes, the poo pie from The Help. Oh, Jeremy's drinking an adult beverage. Maybe that's why he's typing some of the stuff he's typing. But no, Jeremy, whether or not, I don't know if that was a serious question or not when you asked about me really living in the van. I do really live in this van full time. Since the day I went to live in a vehicle, I have not lived in a sticks and bricks since, unless I was staying with somebody those first 2 winters. But other than that, I've been 100% full time in my van. So I did watch Black Panther again because it's on Netflix. If you have not seen the Black Panther, the movie, you didn't get to see it in theaters, please watch it on Netflix. Really good movie. I saw it again. I've seen it a total of like 7 times. And what else did I watch on Netflix? Of course, I watched my Star Trek all the time. Always watching Star Trek. I tried watching, what is this? The Tidying Up of Marie Kondo. I can't. I can't because I have no patience for people not wanting to get rid of stuff. I just don't have the patience for it. I just can't do it. Maggie says, no joke. I actually just finished camping with Maggie for like, how long, Maggie? I don't know. Over a week now? A week something? I don't know. Mitt says Jeremy doesn't lie. Hallucinate maybe, but he's not lying. Oh my gosh, I can't with you guys. Yes, Patrick, I did see that I saw that was in the, yes, I saw that. LA says, yes, I met her living in her van. Now, me, on the other hand, I am a weekender for now, still maintaining my house. That's okay. Everybody, starts somewhere. You get to the point where maybe you want to rent out the house or you can afford to leave for longer than weekends, and that's what you do. Mitt says, I saw it, love it. Aquaman was good, but not as good as I thought it would be. And I was afraid about Aquaman. I didn't get a chance to see it in theaters. I don't think it's in theaters anymore, so I'll definitely catch that somewhere online. But I was afraid that Aquaman would not be as good as we want it to be. So I'm glad you said that. So yeah. Sandy says, Crystal, I left you and came back after I had a hot shower. Oh, that's nice. I will be getting a hot shower tomorrow. Maggie said, and her fire was real. I heard her yell fire, but I thought she was yelling about the campfire. Yes. So when I had the fire, we were camped in a group of like 7 of us, and I started yelling fire, fire. As I was hosing it, I was yelling fire, fire, because I didn't know if I was going to be able to contain it. So I wanted people to know that my thing was on fire. And Miss V jumped out of her van, which was parked next to me, and one young lady who was parked a couple vans over from me jumped out of her van. So it's like, but we had just finished at the campfire, about 5 minutes at the campfire, and then I came to my van after finishing at the campfire. We spread out the coals and everything so they could, cool down. And then I came into my van, so that's why Maggie thought we were still sitting outside at the campfire. So, yes. Ugh. Jeremy says, it was awesome. I was impressed being a comic book collector. Oh, okay. It's okay, Maggie. I wasn't expecting really anybody to kind of come out. I just was like alerting everybody that I was having a fire pretty much. Because, I mean, what else could you have done but just stand there and watch me put it out? So, it's not a big deal. No big deal at all. All right, what else? On a consumption diet. I don't know what that means. What does that mean? What do you mean by a consumption diet? Ugh. All right, I'm going to put the batteries in this other light so I can unplug this light. Hold on. Oof. Take the little light and put some batteries in it. Where you eat. What do you mean, where do I eat? I normally sit, I have a little chair, folding chair, that I can sit in to eat, or I eat at the foot of the bed. I try not to eat at this end of the bed, where I'm sitting right now, just because, that's the head of my bed. I don't want crumbs in my bed. I don't want to spill any food on that part, on that part of my bed, so... If it's consumable, he eats it. Oh, okay. I guess you guys are having side conversations, so maybe you're not talking to me after all, so maybe I'll just be quiet. Because I didn't know what you guys were talking about just now. There we go. So we're going to put this light here. And I'm going to unplug this one because it's just going to take up the juice from the battery that I just finished charging. There we go. How's that? Ooh, that's bright. Good Lord, that's bright. All up in my face. I can't even barely see the screen right now. I can barely see you guys' comments because that light is so bright. It's all in my eyes. I cannot see the screen right now. I do not know what anybody is saying right now. Oh, hold up. Oh, Lord, that's bright. Oof. Okay, I gotta scroll back. Somebody said, where was the fire? Was it in the closet? No. So the fire was in between the front seats, kind of. Not in between, but where the 2 front seats are is where my heater sits. But in front of the curtain so I have the curtain that goes behind the 2 front seats, and the heater was in front of that. So it was in the front, kind of the front, I guess. That's as close to the front as you can get, I guess. Lord, that light is bright. LA said, it is bright, but we can see you. It did not do much damage. I'll show you the damage. I actually have the pictures on my phone, and see, that's a good thing for me having the live on the iPad, because I can show you the pictures on my phone of the damage. So let me scroll back. So here's the rug. And let me turn the brightness down because we got this bright light on. So that's my rug. And see the burn spot on the rug? That's the burn spot on the rug. Okay. And this is the hose. Let me find the picture of the hose. Where's the picture of the hose? There it is. This is a picture of the hose with the burn, the char. See how it's charred? This is where it was hooked into the heater. So that end right here was hooked into the heater, and the flame kind of came out of there and touched the hose, and the hose started burning. And this is a picture of all the dust inside the heater. See all the white powder dust? This is what came out of the fire extinguisher. All that white powdery dust came out of the fire extinguisher, and it got all inside the heater when I was putting the fire out. And there's a picture of all of my stuff sitting on the outside. I don't remember where that picture, but this is the van pretty much emptied out when I went to go get it vacuumed out. So I left the stuff up on the walls, and I left the plastic, the drawers are taken out, but the plastic frames are still in for the drawers. And so I wiped all that stuff down before putting stuff back in. But this is before I got it vacuumed out. And there is a picture of all my stuff sitting outside. Let me find that picture. Where's that picture? Oh, you know what? That was in a text message. I got to go back to the text because I wasn't at the hold on. When I was getting it vacuumed out, I had one of the ladies send me a picture of all of my stuff sitting outside, and I don't know why I didn't save it to my phone, but anyway, let me find it. There it is. This is the picture of all my stuff. Save. So here's the picture of all my stuff sitting outside on the tarps. We had 2 tarps out, and as they were cleaning, they were moving stuff from the dirty tarp over to the clean tarp. So yeah, all my stuff sitting outside. It was crazy. Yeah. Anyway, all in all, I'm fine. It didn't hurt me, so it was okay. All right, somebody says, Mitts. Crystal, that comment was meant to be a joke. I forgot about delayed this is. I asked if it was in the closet because you said something about people coming out. Oh, bad joke. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, it was a bad joke. Sorry. Jeremy says, OMG, why haven't I found something else to do? Do you want to leave, Jeremy? You can go. Am I holding you captive? Derek says you were very lucky to have caught that in time. Well, this is my thing. When I turned the heater on, the plume of flame came out of the front of the heater. So it was an immediate fire. It wasn't like it was on for a few minutes and then it shot out of fire. It was immediately as soon as I turned it on. So I am glad too, because I sleep with that thing on. I turn it on low, I crack a window, and I go to sleep with that thing on. So that could have been so much worse. So much worse. But again, I use that heater all January, all at RTR, every single night. No issues. Slept with it, slept toasty warm all night, all through RTR, that whole 2 weeks and all the rest of January while traveling around and when on the cold nights, all night long, sometimes till 8 or 9 in the morning the next morning. We're talking like 10, 11 o'clock at night until like 8 or 9 o'clock the next morning. So we're talking almost 12 hours of the thing running, I'm just saying. It was just a weird fluke is all I can say. It was just, I don't know why. I hadn't used it in 2 weeks. I started it up and flume. Flash of flame. I don't know. I have no idea why. So it wasn't like it was the first time I started it up. I would be upset if it was the very first time I used it and that happened. Then I would probably be scared to use it again, but not, All right, let me go back and see anything else. Jeremy says he threw his career away. What? I think there's something else going on here. Dick says you are very lucky to have caught that in time. Vehicles go up quickly, especially full of living items. Yes, and the fact that it was right next to my Curtains? Woo! That could have been bad really quick. Really, really quick. Yeah, it could have been bad quick. Have I tried the 12-volt electric blankets? I actually have a 12-volt electric blanket. The problem with the 12-volt electric blanket is because they're made for truckers and they're usually found in like the truck stops. If you don't have a system where you can keep your engine running like the truckers do with the diesel situation, those things cannot run on the battery that I have and the solar that I have. I cannot run that all night. I can't. Absolutely 100% cannot run that all night. I can get maybe 20 minutes and that's it. It's going to deplete my batteries too quickly. That's not meant to run. It's meant to run in a cigarette lighter plug while your vehicle is running. That's what it's meant for. It's really not. I have been fine with the extra blankets on my bed. I'm wearing sweatpants to bed and wool socks, and I've been fine in the covers. I'm totally fine. It's really not been getting that cold at night like it was back in January, so I'm okay. We had a couple of really cold nights and my feet were freezing. My thing is, if my feet are cold, it's over. It's over. So the two extra blankets that I have are kind of folded in half and they're at the foot of the bed. If my feet are warm, then the rest of me is fine with the extra clothes on. So I take any extra blanket I get and throw it at the foot of the bed because my feet have to be warm when I'm sleeping. I will put on 2 pair of wool socks, even though I hate sleeping in socks, but I have got to have warm feet. If my feet are not warm, forget it. So I think my next purchase, maybe I should put that in my wish list, is a hot water bottle. Because I think if I get one of those old-fashioned pink bladder rubbery hot water bottles and fill that with boiling water and put it in the bed at the foot, I can keep my feet warm and I'll be fine. Because if my feet are warm, I'm fine. I have enough blankets. No, Jeremy, I don't think you're rude. I just didn't know if you were having side conversations or anything. Jeremy wants to know how old I am. I'm 47. I'll be 48 May 13th. I am a grandmother. I have one child, a son who's 24. Maggie says, was it in the first minutes of use? Yes, as soon as I turned it on. You know how you have to hold the thing and click the igniter and then the flame comes on? As soon as I turned it on, it just was like a fluff of smoke. Maggie says exactly, I had the 12-volt blanket and it's not going to happen on a house battery. So I still have my 12-volt blanket, and the reason I still have it is it's a good extra layer. It's under the bed right now. And remember when I told you about my bed setup, and if you weren't here for that, you'll have to watch the replay of the video. So I have a bin that has like it has a Snuggie in it. It has the 12-volt blanket in it, and it used to have one of the fleece blankets that I've recently put on my bed in it. So right now it just has the 12-volt blanket and an extra Snuggie in it, my Pac-Man Snuggie, because I was gifted this red fluffy Snuggie, so I've been using this. But I don't want to get rid of my Pac-Man Snuggie. I really like that Snuggie. I found it at a thrift shop. It's a black Snuggie, and it has the Pac-Man and the ghost all over it, and I really love that Snuggie, and I do not want to get rid of it. So I will keep that Snuggie, and it's fleece material, so it's really a nice warm thing to have as an extra layer to add to the bed when it gets cold, or just if I'm sitting on top of the bed in couch mode, I can throw that on as well. LA Gun says, Patrick said he would rather use 500 blankets than use a fuel heater. If it's not super cold, blankets are fine. The only issue is when you have to get up to go pee, which I always have to do at least once or twice in the middle of the night. And that's when it's just like, oh Lord, the plastic seat on this bucket toilet is so cold on my butt right now. And you're just sitting there in a ball freezing while you're trying to pee. It's like, ah! Anyway. Have you tried the wool blankets from Harbor Freight? Somebody wants to know. No, but I did add, so I did get the 2 moving blankets from Harbor Freight and put them in the front behind the seats. I took my regular curtains down and I put the thick moving blankets from Harbor Freight in the front where the curtains were, and that helps a lot because that cab area gets really cold. So when you're doing your van build, remember that cab area gets really hot in the summer and really cold in the winter. So definitely have a set of winter either wool blankets or the Harbor Freight moving blankets. And I wash them first because they have a really nasty smell to them. Really nasty chemically smell that I hate. So I wash them first before I put them up because I cannot stand certain smells, really bother me and give me headaches. So I washed them first, and I didn't cut them and hem them. I just kind of folded them over the bungee cord that was there. I will eventually cut them and hem them and put the bungee cord through the hem that I make. But for right now, they're just kind of folded over the bungee cord, and they definitely block out the cold. It's much warmer back here with my body heat and the moisture coming out of my mouth. It stays warmer back here with those thick blankets. As a matter of fact, I need to get another one and put it on the side door and get 2 more and put them back here on the back doors, because that's where all my van is old. It's a 98. So I know I have some gaps where no water's coming in when it rains, but definitely you can feel there's air in certain areas, and the doors are the biggest windows, so to speak. So those are where you're going to lose some air or get some cold air in. So I definitely want to get another blanket for this side door, and I want to get 2 more to put back here so I can block out all of the cold areas and keep the warmth here where I'm living, in the back part where I'm living. And those, so when it gets summertime, I will fold those up, put them under the bed, and take the regular thin lightweight curtains out and put those back up, because in the summer, you don't want to keep the heat from your body in the back. Then it gets too hot back here. I want to keep it airy, because when I put my front windows down, I want that air to come back here. I have the mesh screens on the windows. I want the air to come back here. All right, let me go back. Pam is talking to someone, Miss Full Roller. So glad to see you on here. You inspired my set of braid locks. I had them 7 years. Oh, there's somebody on here that has a braid. Is that on a YouTube channel? Charlene says, I have one of those rubber hot water bottles. Yes, I'm definitely going to get one of those. I'm definitely going to be starting my lock journey. Is this Miss Full Roller? I'm not going to remember your channel name. So I don't know if you share your lock journey has been shared on your YouTube channel, but that's cool. I would like to watch that if I could. And Jeremy said, I thought you were trying to figure out life as a young woman on the road. Oh my gosh, I'm 34. You could be my mother. Wait a minute. I'm only 47. I could not be your mother. That means I would have had to have you at 13 or something. No, no. Patrick says that's why they have Depends. Ew, I'm not gonna wear Depends to bed and pee in the bed. No, that's gross, Patrick. Ugh, you're so gross. Pebble says, yes, those blankets will really, with really good, maybe you mean are really good, and you can leave them on all night with no problem. Uses real little power. What? Oh, you're talking about the 12-volt blanket? No, you cannot. I mean, maybe you have like 600 watts of solar and 400 or 500 amp hours of battery, but I have 200 watts of solar and 200 amp hours of battery, and that 12-volt blanket is not running on this system. I'm sorry, sweetie, it's not. It is not. That 12-volt blanket is not running on this. What if she didn't make those voices? Okay, Jeremy's got a whole thing going on with him that I'm just gonna have to ignore some of your stuff, Jeremy. I don't know what you're talking about. Veronica says, I use a Gatorade bottle wrapped in a towel with hot water. It works great, and the foot of the bed stays warm all night. I wouldn't trust a Gatorade bottle, just me. I mean, if it works for you, that's cool. I wouldn't trust a regular plastic bottle though, for me. I could just see that opening up or coming through. I know. I want something that's meant to hold hot water. A Gatorade bottle is not meant to hold hot water. So I want something that was made for hot water. Pam says, no, I cut them this past spring. They were below. Oh, you could be talking about locks. Never mind. Maggie says, add Reflectix to your windows to keep heat out. So Reflectix is not an insulator. Reflectix is exactly what it says. Reflect. It reflects the sun. So it's not an insulation. It's not meant for insulation. It's meant to reflect. And people don't realize it needs an air gap. It needs about 1/2 of an inch of space to even remotely have. It has no R value whatsoever. So it doesn't really help anything. It really doesn't. It's probably better than nothing, but it's really not an insulator. It's not made to insulate at all. And it needs an air gap. So unless you're going to just, I mean, I could probably sit some loosely in my window right here on the sides and not let it touch the window, but it's not an insulator. I would do better to cut a piece of styrofoam insulation and sit that in my window. That would be better than cutting Reflectix, to be honest with you. It's good to reflect the heat, especially if you're going to put it in windows or your doorway. On a hot day, it can help reflect it out a little bit, but it's really not an insulator. But definitely better than nothing. I will say that. You can even use cardboard. You can even use bubble wrap that you mail packages in. Anything to kind of give you a barrier would be better than nothing. But again, I'm not to the point where I'm that cold. I'm fine right now. And remember, the heater is being replaced, so I'm good to go. I probably won't even need it by the time I get it back. It'll probably be warming up enough here next month that it'll, be very few cold nights. In the cold nights that we're going to have for March and April, probably being under the covers will be enough. Maggie says, you can have my hot water bottle. It's got a cute sweater sleeve for it. I never use it. Oh, that's cool. If I get back to where you are, or if you come over to where I am, we'll do that. Thanks, Maggie. Do you plant food? It's hard to have a garden in a van. I know some people have an herb garden sitting up on their dash, but no. I do not plant food. There's no plants in here. I don't have a green thumb. I have a black thumb. I killed a cactus before, so I do not grow plants. So no, I have no plants in my rig. I probably should, but no, I don't have any. LA, Wave 3 is a type of a heater. It's a catalytic heater. It's better, in my opinion, it's better than the buddy heater. I had the buddy heater, and I had the little buddy heater I had that sits on top of the green bottle, and I also had the medium-sized buddy heater. I don't like the buddy heaters. They're very strong. The propane smell is just so strong. I have a headache. They waste a lot of propane. They use a lot. They draw way more propane than the Wave 3. And I also just don't, I don't know. I just don't like the buddy heaters. They have way more condensation as well. The Wave 3 is very mild heat. It's a very steady heat, which is why I could use it all night. The buddy heater, I could never use it all night. Not the small one, not the medium, nothing. And the low on the Wave 3 is a true low. Whereas the low on the buddy heater is too much. Like I was literally, when I had the medium buddy heater, last October when we bought the buddy heaters, because when we were up north trying to come down and it got cold on us and we went to Walmart and got buddy heaters, me and Miss V, literally, I was sitting in here with that thing on in a tank top. This is a tank top. In a tank top and underwear. It was so freaking hot on low. I couldn't do it. It was too hot in here. And I just felt like my whole face felt flushed. It was just hot for no reason. Like, that's just too hot. And it was just sucking so much propane. Like, I couldn't even get through the night with one green canister. My cooktop on very, very low can run all night on one green canister. I could not get through one night with the buddy heater on one. I had to put 2 canisters a night with the buddy heater, with the green canisters. This was before I had the 20-pound tank. I have a 20-pound tank now. but it sucked up so much, and the low was just, I felt I was completely congested. I woke up every day with a sore throat and completely dried out nasal passages. Was like, oh my God, I can't do it. I cannot do it. The Wave 3, I have not had that problem. The low is a nice, comfortable temperature. You know, windows always crack when I have a heater on or a cooktop on. Nice, comfortable temperature. I could wear a t-shirt and regular thin, lightweight pajama bottoms and be perfectly comfortable. Or a t-shirt and no, just underwear. So perfect, like I would normally. I didn't have to have socks on, which I loved because I hate sleeping in socks. But yeah, that buddy heater is just too, and it was going through propane, and that's expensive. The propane that you save with the Wave 3 makes the cost of it, in my opinion, worth it, to be honest. And the condensation, you get way less condensation. I was not getting the condensation on my front windows and stuff. I don't get a condensation like people who have cargo vans. I don't get the condensation on my, roof and sides because they're covered. So whenever exposed metal you have, you're going to get the condensation. So you're going to want to cover that up if you can. All right, I missed some questions. I'm going back. LA says, was it the Wave 3 that caught on fire? I honestly, it was actually the hose that caught on fire. The flame came out of the front of the Wave 3, and I don't know how, but the hose itself caught on fire as well. But yeah, so I don't understand what happened with it. I can't even begin to explain. Maggie has a Wave 3, and she uses hers, so she knows what it's like, and they're really good. I mean, if you have the room for a wood burning stove, by all means get a wood burning stove. I don't have the room for it. Because you not only have to have the room for the wood burning stove, but you have to have a wall behind it that you would put the metal, a sheet of metal or something, or tile to, keep it from burning whatever it's sitting in front of or next to. I don't have that kind of room. Guys, this van is a regular E150. It is not a 250. It's not a 350. It's not extended length. It is a regular old van. So I do not have that kind of room. So no. And not only with the wood burning stove, you have to take into consideration those small wood burning stoves. You're going to have to stoke it a couple of times at night. That's not going to run all night. You're going to have to get up and you're going to have to add wood to it at least 2 to 3 times a night if you plan on running it at night while you're sleeping to keep warm. That's all I'm saying. Bye, Pam. Tiny says, I've noticed that you don't post much anymore. Is there a reason? So I post at least once a week. There are many weeks where I post twice a week. And there was a video on that because I think a lot of people who found me back in August. Maybe it was August. Found me back in August, and it was VEDA, which is video every day in April and video every day in August. And so people thought I did videos every day. I do not do videos every day. I used to do videos 3 times a week. Now I do 1 to 2 a week. But I have 4 live videos a month. Go to crystalvanner.com and you'll see when those scheduled lives are so you can catch me. If not, you can watch the replays. So yeah, there's no reason. I just went back to a normal posting schedule. So that's all. Yves said you can bake yourself with a buddy heater in a van. Yes, you can. Oh my gosh. Solo Traveler wants to know, hello, Crystal. What are the bare essentials to getting started in van life? Oh, wow. I need to make a list of this and remember this. I would say your bare essentials, I guess you assume like what you need in your van is what I'm thinking you assume. I'm assuming is what you're saying. I would say you got to have a bed. Duh. You want to have a bed and a decent mattress. I'm not going to say you need the best mattress, but you want a decent mattress because you want to get a fairly good night's sleep, or else you're going to give up on the whole situation. It's not comfortable, then you're not going to sleep well and you're not going to have a good time. So I'm going to say get yourself a decent bed. And a decent bed is, I have a 1/2-inch plywood bed. I mean, it's not expensive. You could do a bed at Home Depot for about $25-$30 if you don't have the long screws to screw the legs in and all that. You're going to want to get the long screws. But it's 1/2-inch plywood, and I've already gone over this earlier in the video, but it's a piece of plywood, and it's got a piece of plywood at the end, a piece of plywood here, and a piece of plywood in the middle. I'm small, so it works for me. You might need thicker plywood than 1/2-inch. You might want to do 1 inch if you're a little heavier. You might want to do, one of my beds was 4x4 legs, which will hold a lot of weight. So you might want to do that instead of the plywood. Instead of having the thin sheets of plywood, you might want to use the 4x4 legs and put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 legs. And then you can still slide bins in under the bed. And the other thing I would say besides a bed is get your basics for cooking. A pot, a pan, and a tea kettle. Get your basic storage needs. Keep your clothing and shoes to the absolute minimal. You're going to wash clothes often, so get yourself about, I would say, 10 days to 14 days worth of underwear, 10 days to 14 days worth of short sleeve and long sleeve tees, and get you a good thick hoodie. Get you 1 coat that you can wear with your hoodie to double up as a second layer if you get somewhere that's too cold. Get yourself about 4 to 5 pair of leggings to wear under your sweatpants and under your jeans in cold weather. Get you about 4 to 5 pair of wool socks and maybe 3 to 4 pair of regular socks. I try and wear flip-flops as much as I can because I don't like wearing socks. It's weird because I did not grow up like that. I grew up wearing tennis shoes all the time. Socks and tennis shoes all the time. But as I've gotten older, I prefer wearing flip-flops. And I have a really super comfortable pair that make my knee and my hip and my ankle feel really good. So I prefer to wear those when it's not cold or rainy. So I don't have a whole lot of socks because I try not to wear socks. And I can wash my socks out in my sink if I need to and let them air dry if I need another pair of socks for any apparent reason. But what else? I sleep in legit not real pajamas, but like t-shirts and old pants that I don't wear anymore. Like I have a pair of old red yoga pants that are kind of, beat up on the edges. At the bottom edge is kind of, tattered a little bit from being stepped on. I sleep in those. I take that back. I do have 1 pair of fleece pajama bottoms, but I haven't been wearing those. When it got cold, I started wearing my sweatpants. So I have 2 pairs of sweatpants, so I just alternate those. So don't overthink it. Just don't overthink how much you need, because you can add to it. It's better to add once you realize you need something than to add it in the beginning and realize you don't need it at all. So start with the bare minimums. Get yourself a couple of solar lights and a couple of battery operated lights to have at night. And I say solar lights because you don't want to run everything off of, if you don't have a battery set up, you don't want to have to worry about buying actual batteries all the time. So get you a couple of solar lights, like the Lucy lights that you can sit in the windshield to get sun, and get you some battery operated lights so you can have just in case those aren't, fully powered. If you are going to get batteries and solar in the beginning, I would say start with 200. The Renogy kit on Amazon, and I have it in my Amazon store, amazon.com/store/CrystalVanner. There's a kit, 200 watt panel kit, and it's pretty reasonable. I would say start with that. How is the weather where I am? The weather is not cold. I don't feel cold. Cool, but not cold, but it is raining still. It's been raining for 24 hours. Although it may have stopped now. I don't hear it as much. Anyway, what else for bare minimum? Non-perishable food, but not overly processed foods. You don't have to eat bad because you live in a van. Okay. Good night to all those that have to go. I know the East Coast is like checking out with us now because it's really late there. I get it. Don't overstock your groceries because honestly, unless you plan on going for like 3 weeks at a time without going to the grocery store, don't buy so much food that you have nowhere to put it. And I would say before you do a build out, live with your van. Do your bed because you need a good bed, but buy like right now I have the plastic, $8.99 and $10.99 things from Walmart. I like it because it's lightweight. I like it because it's clean lines. It looks good to me, to my eye. And I put shelf liner in the front of each of the drawers, so all the drawers look the same. There's the same pattern. I can't see through the drawers. But the cost was good because I didn't want to build in wood shelves. I started with a wood shelf on this side. If you go back and look at that first tour, and I don't know why I did that. I don't like wood. All intentions was gonna paint it and all this, that, and the other. Anyway, that did not happen. And I ended up needing a little more storage for different things that were stored under the bed and needed to come out of the bed, basically. So I really wanted the bed on this side. I didn't do that in the beginning. And I just should have stuck with some of the things I had thought about in the beginning and changed my mind. I really wish I'd stuck with my first gut instinct instead of changing my mind. But I had so many designs in my head. My original design did not work. So I started coming up with secondary and third and fourth designs. But that's what you're going to do. It never, ever, 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 it never stops, the planning and the processing. I know people that have been in their rigs for a long time and built really elaborate things, and now they're saying they want to tear it all out and do something different because it doesn't work for them. So don't overly build out. Start with some temporary things. Start with a decent bed and start with some temporary plastic drawers or metal kind of self-built shelving kind of things, and live with it and decide what you want. All right, let's see. I don't see any other questions. Thank you, Tina. Happy Valentine's Day to you too. I don't know what the actual temperature is where I am. I'm not revealing where I am. I'm not revealing where I'm going. So I'm not talking about that on this live. If you're on my Patreon, you know where I'm going. Okay, I'm going to check out the weather because somebody's asking me what the temperature is where I am. This says 57 with a low of 49. And tomorrow's not going to be much better. Tomorrow's going to be cloudy all day with a high of 62 and a low of 46. So it's just going to be in the 50s all week. The low at night is getting lower and lower. Next week is going to be like in 30s for the low. We get more rain next Thursday. So yeah. But I won't be in this area next week, so I don't know what it's going to what it's going to be like. Patrick says I'm a night owl, so I'm good. I go to bed 6 to 7 a.m. Feel free to reach out if you feel free, or text. All right. Thanks, Patrick. So Jeremy, are you causing grief? Do you need a timeout? Goodbye, Jeremy. That's a good idea, Maggie. So Maggie says she put pictures of her grandkids inside her plastic drawer fronts. It's like a picture frame. That's a really good idea. That would still bother me visually. I'm really weird about visual things. I mean, I don't mind some, like I have, my frogs up and stuff like that. But I think I do have a place over here where I could put a photo of my son and my granddaughter. I would like an updated picture of them. But what I think I want to do for my aesthetic is I'm going to go to the thrift shop and get a picture frame. And I'm going to paint it red, the actual wood frame red. And then I'll put the pictures in like collage style from when she was little, a couple of when my son was little, and a couple of them together, and kind of put it in collage style. I'm just weird like that. I have a really weird, my visual, it has to be right or it's just not going to work for me. That's just me. But I do have this whole plastic up here. And I was asking you guys to send me postcards so that I could put them up here and cover this plastic. Because this plexiglass, I have four panels. 4 panels of this plexiglass. And what's in there is lights, like mood lighting. It's not bright at all. It's controlled up front. And the key has to be in the on switch in order for that to work. It does not work unless it's, on the on switch. And I don't keep my car like that. So I was asking you guys to send me postcards, which you still can. Up until April 25th, you can send me postcards. But send me postcards because I want to cover up all this plexiglass with like postcards from you guys. Or something. Yeah, something. Anyway. Hey, Autumn. Tina says you sound like me. Yeah, it has to work within my space. I can't just go slapping stuff up. It has to have a coordinating kind of thing going on. Irene said, enjoy the evening. Gotta go to bed. Been traveling. Okay, thanks, Irene. Oh, Irene! I got your gift. Where was it? Where did I put it? Thank you for your gift, Irene. It's up in the front. So Irene bought me she bought me the screen, and it was perfect timing, Irene, because mine ripped. The one I had ripped. It was really thin material, and I've had it for like 2 years, so it ripped. But she bought me the screens that you put up in your windshield. So thank you so much for my gift, sweetie. I can't really show it to you because it's up in the windshield right now. But it's like the silver on one side and the black on the other, and it's the 2-pack where it's like the rectangular shape, and they fold into a circle, and it has a little pouch. It was in my wish list. She got it for me. So thank you so much, because my other one has a big old rip in it, and I was still using it. So thank you for replacing that. Now I can throw that away. I got it yesterday, actually. Oh, that's cool, Gladys. Oh, Tina, we talked about the fire already a couple of times. You're going to have to watch the replay. Sorry. There's a lot of people still on here. You guys must be on the West Coast or the Midwest or something. There's still like 100 people on here. Thank you, Rebecca. Tina's in Michigan. What time zone is Michigan? Is that Central? I don't know what time that is. Oh, Michigan is Eastern? Oh, okay. So you a night owl then, because it's really, really, it's late. Judith wants to know, what is this? Okay, so this shower curtain is my closet. It's covering up my clothing. Again, that goes back to my whole visual thing. Seeing the hangers and the different colors of the scarves and stuff. It's like, no, I need a wall here. And so because I don't want to have an actual wall here, I use the shower curtain. You guys voted, and I chose. So I chose this one because it matches, it matches the whole decor of the van. I've got a nice red, black, white, and gray striped blanket at the foot of my bed. I've got a nice carpet down the middle that has black, gray, and black, red, white, and gray swirls on it. So yeah. So it matches my whole situation going on here. So no, that's my closet. Good night, Pebbles. Singles night with the Vanner fam. Yeah, apparently none of us had Valentine's dates, huh? None of us had a Valentine because we're all on here. It's okay. We love ourselves. So no, my bathroom is actually right here. It's right in front of this curtain on this side. So this curtain is pushed a little bit forward, more than usual, because I have another chair back here, so it kind of pushes the clothes a little bit. Because that chair has fabric and it's been raining outside for 24 hours, I didn't want to leave it outside. So normally that chair sits outside when I get to camp, when I'm camped, it sits outside the whole time. So my clothes hangers are pushed forward just a little bit more than they would be because that chair's back there. Ooh, Patrick, you better watch yourself from Miss B. Ooh, I don't think she's on anyway, but still, you better watch yourself. Oh, Tina, you were Ubering people? Oh, cool. Yeah, I decided to wear my red top for the live video. I've got my red earrings on. I don't know if you can see them because they're so small. And I just quickly wrapped my hair in a pair of leggings. So, but I don't wear red very often. As a matter of fact, I only have 2 red shirts. And I told you about the red yoga pants that I have. But I have a short sleeve red shirt that was given to me by a subscriber who is stationed overseas in the military, and that's it. Those are the only red shirts I have. This short sleeve red shirt and a long sleeve red shirt. That's it. I don't have any red pants. I don't have any red leggings. I don't have, very few red clothes. I have a couple of scarves with red in them. These leggings are the only leggings that have red in them. The other leggings are black. So yeah, I used to wear red clothing all the time. I would always buy stuff in red. I would always buy my shirts in red. Like my closet used to always be mostly red and black and gray. So I kept all of my black and gray clothing. Not all of it, but I kept most of my black and gray clothing when I went into the van because I wanted everything to be kind of monochromatic. So I can definitely mix and match everything. And so everything was black and gray and a little bit of white when I first moved into the van. So I've got the 2 red shirts because I'm like, oh, okay, I can add red. It's okay to add red to that monochromatic thing. And that's my favorite color anyway. So I added a couple of, I got the red t-shirt from a Vanner family member. And I also wanted to keep, because I have 2 black long sleeve tees. I have a gray long sleeve tee and I have a red long sleeve tee that I can put underneath my short sleeve shirts to have a second layer. And when it gets cold, you just want to put that second layer on and then, just put a scarf around my neck or something. This is actually a scarf that someone made me. So I do pull this down and wrap it around my neck when it gets cold. And I'll show you. I can't remember how I rolled it up in here. So someone made me this scarf. And I didn't really have a place for it to go. And I kind of like it. So I decided to use it as a piece of art. And when I want to keep my neck warm, I just pull it down. Oh, come on. Ah! Okay, this was more trouble than it was worth, huh? It's not tied or anything. It's just weirdly wrapped. Oh, good Lord. Oh, good Lord. Oh, Lord, I just made a... I think I tangled it up. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, there we go. Where's the end? That's what I need. Oh, there it is. There we go. So it's a really, really long scarf, as you can see. So what I do, it's very dusty, is I kind of fold it in half and then fold it in half again. And I take this end and I put it like this. And there you go. My fluffy, rubbery red scarf. And honestly, when your neck is warm and when your feet are warm, you are warm. That's all I want to say. You are definitely warm. Someone says blue is my favorite color and I love the look of wood. I hate wood, Patrick, and you know that. Oh, that's too funny. Maggie says my van hasn't leaked. I dicorded it after RTR. So far, so good. Yay, that's good. If you got through if you got the same kind of rain we've had for the last 24 hours and it hasn't leaked, then you're good to go, because that was a whole lot of rain since last night. Coming back says, hey there, I have the same van as you. I started out not living in it by choice, but have embraced it. Oh, I wish I could put pics on here for you to see. Email them to me. hellocrystalvanner@gmail.com. Maggie says, I love wood too. I'm doing blues in my van now. Tina says, I got a pilot, then a... What? Okay, I don't know what you're talking about, Tina. At her job, then I got to go to a casino. Okay, I think you're saying goodbye, maybe? I don't know. Tina said, I only got a $1 tip. Oh, that sucks. Oh, you're talking about your Ubering. Yeah, your Ubering. Yeah, I don't know how you guys Uber. Oof, that would drive me nuts. Drive me crazy to Uber. I have a group text message going on, and they've been talking all this whole time almost that I've been on the on the live. They've been talking for like an hour. And it's somebody's traveling. They're showing pictures of where they've been. Yeah, so our group kind of disbanded. The group of 7. 2 people stayed where we were. Somebody went to Cali. 2 people went to Cali. Somebody flew back to the East Coast to see family. Me and V are where we are, and then me and V are doing some traveling this weekend, and then I think most of us are gonna meet up again next week. So it's cool. It's cool. I think 6 of us, 5 or 6 of us are meeting up again next week. Coming back says, awesome. I was on the floor saw tour van, and okay, I'm not sure what you're trying to say. Everyone has a beautiful Valentine's Day. Heading out in the morning. Okay, bye, Gladys. You gotta love driving. Wow, I can't believe people don't tip the Uber drivers. That's crazy. Yeah, I've never even used Uber, to be honest, but when I used to take a cab, I wouldn't always tip. It depends on the drive. I got into 2 accidents in a cab. Yeah, the cab drivers had accidents while I was in cabs. Different times of my life, but so I don't really, yeah. Anyway, that is what it is. Me and the baby are still here. I might go with you, but I'm not. Wait, huh? Me and the baby are still here. I might go with you, but not if it's over 100 miles. Okay, we'll talk about it tomorrow, Maggie. Actually, I'm hitting the road tomorrow, but I'll talk to you when I get settled where I'm going tomorrow. Anyway, I think we're going to wrap this up. I am done. We've been on here for 201 minutes and 202 minutes. All right, I love you guys so much as always. And if you watch this whole replay, thank you so much. If you watched it without skipping any commercials or ads, I greatly appreciate you watching, because this is a long freaking video. And if you watch the whole thing and let the ads play, I love you so much. Anyway, thanks guys for watching as always. Thanks for jumping on the random lives. I love you guys. Have a good night. Stay dry.